Three. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cafe LeBlanc podcast number 11. This is the first podcast of the year so far. I want to thank you, every one of you guys, to show up here, especially my guest. Spencer, thank you once again. I'm pretty sure at this point you're my regular guy. Like, literally, I think I had you in every single podcast episode, if not most of them.
Regularly regular.
Regularly regular. And Racing, thank you so much for coming back again. And King, again, thank you again for coming by, guys.
Of course, man. Thank you so much for having me again.
Alrighty, so I'm excited to talk about these. 2021 just started. We already started with a bang a couple days ago with the release of one of the games that I was actually waiting for years. You guys know what game that is? Can anybody guess?
Is it a 2021 game?
Yeah, it's a 2021 game. Released a few days ago.
I haven't really seen any game releases. So far.
Alright, so just 3 days ago, Scott Pilgrim versus the World just released.
Yeah,
for a price of $14.99. Great game. I actually bought it twice.
$5 more than the original. That was a bold choice, especially considering they did zero work for this new one.
Oh no!
Did anyone get the special edition?
I was going to buy the $200, like a $239 one, but I was like, I have other pre-orders to do. I have other collector's edition to worry about. This is not one of them right now. So
it's a 6-week open pre-order. I'm in no hurry. I have to buy the real hotnesses. Who else is going to be buying 2017's hottest RPGs?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really happy for the game, except for the fact that it performs like shit on the PS5. It crashed several times.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, if we're gonna talk about Scott Pilgrim,
yeah,
like it has glitches, like invisible enemies, crashes somehow the most on PS4, which is really weird.
Yes.
It's kind of funny. Like when the game got announced in the summer, I was like, oh my god, I love this game. I have it on my PS3. Like I own like everything about it. I'm a huge Scott Pilgrim fan personally. Shout out to Knife Chow to all the Yellow Fever dudes out there. But like, what's so funny about it is like the more I've thought about that game is like that game without any redefinements or like additions, it's like it's really dated. Like I haven't played the new PS4 one, but like I know that they basically just brought over the game code. Like they did no real changes to it, which is kind of crazy outside of like they changed the cheat codes, which is a weird thing to change.
Yeah.
But like this is the thing I don't get. Is like there were so many corners cut with this game. Like obviously, like they just kind of wanted to get it out, and they're going to make a ton of money by doing nothing. Basically, like all they really did was re-up the licensing fees and port it to a couple of systems. But what's so funny about it is like a lot of people don't really know this, but like the game has so much content that was cut from it, and the content that was added in there. Like, Knives Chow is the only real DLC character. And what's funny about that is Wallace Wells, do any of you guys know what the deal was with Wallace Wells DLC? Like, he came out 2 years after the game came out.
And then the game was taken down.
Well, no. What's funny about the Wallace DLC is that it wasn't made by the original devs. Brian Lee O'Malley did nothing really to collab with it. Like, he got a couple of questions for it, but like it was basically pitched to him, and he assumed it just got canceled. It got put in the back burner by a bunch of interns at like Ubisoft Shanghai, and then like the craziest thing about it was after all the months and months and months of delays, it added online to the game when it was basically dead. Like the PS4 was already out at this point. And what was so funny about it was Wallace Wells isn't even a unique character. They literally just put a Wallace head on Steven Still's moveset, and he just added a rainbow pixel art to a couple of his moves because, duh, he's gay. And it's like the laziest thing ever. Like, you look at the animations that go into Scott Pilgrim, and it's like, well, this is like a really, like it's definitely got a budget behind it, but like you look at like the bands playing like their taunts, like they're really, really expressive. Wallace's taunt literally looks like I made it in Photoshop. It's got 3 frames of him lifting a beer up, and they can't even keep the sprite on the same level. It looks super janky, and like stuff like that they couldn't even fix. I was like, I'm gonna give you my money because like I have to, but at the same time, it's like the more this has been out, I'm surprised the reception hasn't been, oh my god, the best game ever has been saved after a decade of delisting. It's more been like, oh wow, Huh. Yeah, I mean, the music is still good, but I think after a decade, especially even with stuff like River City Girls being out, being a better Scott Pilgrim, it's kind of like, yeah, it's cool for Scott Pilgrim fans, but like, I wouldn't recommend Scott Pilgrim to someone who has no affinity to the series. Like, it's not the best beat 'em up out there anymore.
Not only is that, it's just the performance wise, like that pissed me off so much. I have it on PC and I had to buy it on PC because the PS4 version just like I couldn't get past the first level. Every time that I get close to the end of that level, it just crashes. Every single time.
CD Projekt Red to get their hands on the sport.
But like, no, what's funny about it is like, and I think it's important to note, Kuro, you're playing on the PS5. It's not like you're sitting over here with like a launch model PS4.
Oh yeah, no, I'm playing on the PS5. Yeah, like it's still crashing, and I don't know. Like I made a joke on Twitter the other day. I'm like, this game has crashed more times than Cyberpunk ever did in the entirety of the 60 hours that I played that game.
It's so weird.
It's
not like a performance issue. It's like just a bad.
It's a bad port. It's just a really poorly made port. Like he said, it's just a cash grab at this point. Fine, whatever, but it sucks as a long time fan.
Which, by the way, as like a video game collector, it also makes it suck that like. As you mentioned, there's like the limited run version out there. This is going to be like limited run's best-selling game probably in their entire company history, and it's like not even like the best thing they've ever put out, which is kind of hilarious. Of do you guys know the deal with the Knives Chow? Like Knives Chow technically isn't playable if you never connect online.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So if you don't connect to Ubisoft Club or Ubi Connect, whatever it's called now, that's the only way to unlock Knives. So let's say if you're buying a physical version of this game that got delisted 5 years ago and you're like, awesome, I have everything on the disc. It's going to be like, this is the reason Limited Run made a copy so that it would be complete on the disc. And no, Knives Chow Best Girl is locked unless you sign up for Ubisoft, which obviously it's a free account. It's not that big of a deal. You need internet to order that game physically anyways, but it just kind of goes down to the whole thing of like, cool that it happened, but clearly a lot of steps were skipped just to make it happen.
Yeah, that sucks. It's really annoying. I don't know, the whole having to go online and setting up an account. It's just so annoying. I don't know. I don't really condone and support that.
Have you played the netcode of the new one? I remember in the original, the netcode of the original was unplayable bad.
I have not. Like I said, I only tried to play like the story mode. Like I couldn't even get past the first part of the game, and I was like so frustrated. I'm like, fine. The other thing that frustrates me is Scott Pilgrim on PC is a oh man, what is my favorite company ever?
Ubisoft.
Shit, fucking not Ubisoft. It's Ubisoft only, but also you can only buy it on the Epic Game Store.
Well, so when you mean Ubisoft only, you mean you can buy it through the Ubisoft store or the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, and I was like, man, which one of the two evils do I want to go through?
So you guys wouldn't even recommend this game at $15 right now for someone who
No.
has no affinity towards Scott Pilgrim whatsoever. I was actually kind of interested in getting this game maybe for my Switch.
Honestly, I would say don't buy it. Don't buy it at 15. If you're not like a diehard, oh my god, I gotta play it fan. Like even though I love it, like. It's going to go on sale before it gets delisted again. Limited Run literally is going to produce thousands of copies of this thing. It's going to be at Best Buy. It's going to be at retail after Limited Run. Like, you will have many opportunities to buy this again for a normal price.
Right. I thought it was just a Limited Run game. I had no idea it was actually going to get a retail copy. But
well,
I guess
there's no retail copy.
It is still a limited run game. Yeah. It's just that limited run has deals with companies like limited run now does stuff at Best Buy, GameStop, and Amazon.
Yeah, and it's actually not even releasing until like June or July. Is that right?
Oh, no way. No way. Anyone out there, if you have never ordered a limited run game before, you are not getting this game until 2022. There is no way that this game ships before the end of the year.
And so it's hilarious that this game, like, it released in January, you're not going to get it until much, much later. So just so you know in advance if you didn't know about that. So, so actually jumping in 2021 games, I don't know if we want to go ahead and get the big elephant in the room. I'm going to go ahead and talk about Persona Fight Scramble now, or should we leave that until the very end?
No, there's no skipping ahead. We got to talk about the real king of 2021. It's a new game. It's a Koei Tecmo game. We got to give a shout out to shout-outs due. We're talking about Neo Remastered Collection coming to PS5.
Oh, yes. You're totally right. Well, when is this coming out, though?
I am unironically hyped as fuck for this. Neo 1 and 2 Remastered come to PS5 on February 5th, and Neo 2 also comes to Steam because it was only on PS4 last year. So as someone who's only played like the betas of both games and never the full title, I am so glad I waited.
And don't you get a free upgrade from the PS4 version?
No, you do not.
Yes.
Do you?
No, you do actually.
Do you?
Yeah, you get it free. The only reason I'm like, because like, yeah, Neo 1 and 2 you can find for like 10 or 20 bucks, very, very cheap.
But
the only reason I'm like cool paying the 70 for both is just because like it gets all the DLC.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You get all the DLC and everything. It's funny enough, that even escaped my mind because I already played both of the games. I already own all the games, both of the games and everything. So I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about Neo at all. Like that wasn't even in my radar at all. Do you guys play any of the Neo games?
I have the first one.
You guys play the first one? Yeah. I don't know. The first one to me was kind of like a weave in like the old days, kind of like, I don't know, because that's what the main character is to me. Like, he used to be an old weave way before anime was a thing.
I don't know how to feel like you calling the first white samurai the automatic weeb, but like you're not wrong.
I mean, he is really that's what he is. He's just weave the samurai. No, it's a really good game.
I find the story of William Johnson like really, really funny out of the fact that like he had a wife and kid back in England. But like when the Shogun of Japan like saw all the ways he could help the country out, they're like, "Hey, we can't let you leave. So to help, I'm gonna make you a samurai, and I'm gonna give you an Asian girl as a housewife." And he's like, "All right, goodbye, family." Like he had wife and kids waiting home. You're like, "I'm sorry, man."
All right, we're done. We're done right here. No, for real. If you guys have not tried it out, definitely check out Neo 2. It made everything the Neo 1 did, but better. The weapons are better. The combos are better. You have your own spirit that you can customize from. I mean, there's just so much stuff that is like so much better. It's definitely really cool shit. Am I having connection issues here or anything?
Sounds good. Seems good to me.
Sounds good here.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, everything's good over here. I'm just checking. A red thing popped up over here in Discord, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? So, you guys are good over here? You guys can hear me well?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
So actually, I do feel a little bad because I don't want to just skip right ahead to Strikers, even though I know a lot of people are here for it. We should give 2 legitimate shout-outs. One is a quickie. Oh, sorry, no, 3 shout-outs.
No, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games here in
even January alone, because like
January,
shout out to Game Pass. You're gonna get Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 for free on Game Pass. The Medium
that's literally what I'm
the
waiting
exact
for.
same day, which I'm like legitimately like. I would buy a Series X just to play the Medium if the reviews are good enough. Like that's how into like horror games I am.
Yeah.
And the other one that I'm just super, super excited for that like is a bigger game is like shout outs to Ease 9. Like Ease 9, I played the demo coming to PS4 is so good. Like I cannot wait. Like Nihon Falcom, just they don't miss like at all. They're so good.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about before we start with February. There's actually starting in February. There's this game that I'm actually excited for. I don't know if you guys knew about this, but there's a werewolf RPG, a werewolf action RPG called Werewolf the Apocalypse. Have you guys seen anything about this?
A werewolf RPG, is it like Maneater in some sense, or what?
No, it's an action RPG, kind of like I don't know if any of the Bethesda games or what else is like a Western RPG type? You know, anything of that sort. You play as a werewolf in a clan and everything like that, and your main character is a werewolf, and you sneak around or do werewolf shit. I also only know about it. That's all I need to know about it. It looks cool. Comes out in February the 4th.
That's a great description. You do way more shit.
I have to let you know, just to be devil's advocate.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kuro, have you seen the trailer of this gameplay though?
I've seen the gameplay. That's literally the only thing I've seen. Actually, I haven't seen a trailer for it other than the gameplay of it.
The concept is pretty cool. I like what the devs are doing. It's an interesting idea. It's actually also, it takes place in the world of Vampire the Masquerade. Like, it's all part of that same world. The only caveat, it does not look like a PS5 game. It's on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and stuff. It definitely gives late 2012 vibes. Like, that's what the graphics are, like, in the presentation.
It's more of an indie game, though. It's not really a game made by a AAA developer, though.
True, but it's just one of those games. It's very, very rare that I look at a game's presentation and I go, "Hey, don't let how ugly this is scare you away."
Yeah, like
I don't
Gridfall.
do that with a lot of games.
Did you guys play Gridfall? It's free right now on the PlayStation Network. PlayStation Plus. I'm sorry, PlayStation Plus. You have not?
Oh.
Yeah, you guys should definitely. If you like Western RPGs again, like Skyrim or Fable. Or that kind of games, you should definitely check it out. It's free right now. It's usually like $39.99. I think
it's another one of it's currently only on current gen. It is free on PlayStation Plus for PS4. Girl, I don't know if you knew this. I think like either by summer or spring, the dev is actually going to do a PS5 upgrade for free.
Nice. Okay, so that even gets me hyped. No, it's better looking than a PlayStation 3 game, the Werewolf game. It's just not on par with a lot of the AAA games, but it's definitely better looking on the PS3 game.
By the way, while we're going with PS5 upgrades, let me just go off the track for a minute and say, I got so confused. I got Maneater for Black Friday last year.
Yeah.
Haven't touched it or anything. Got my free PS5 upgrade when I got my PS5, and now they have it on PlayStation Plus for the PS5, and I can't even redeem it right now. It's like I've already downloaded the game and technically own it. I just have to put the disc in.
Whenever you you do the PlayStation 5 thing, you make sure that you actually switch it over. Because he'll download both versions of the game, the PS4 and the PS5 version.
Oh no, like it's Maneater right now is free on PlayStation Plus for PS5.
But no. It's free for PS4, not for PS5.
No. This is one of those ones it gets confusing. Sorry. It's like how Bugsnax. Bugsnax was free, only the PS5 version. You can't go back and forth.
Right,
It's only the PS5 version.
Is that what it is? The PS5 version, not the PS4 version?
Yes, only the PS5 version.
Trina, how dare you expect to get a free game for this service you're playing for? You got to buy our $500 box you can't find anywhere.
Anyway, I really want to play that game. I haven't had a chance. It's just there's so many fucking games to play always. Like I feel like I'm always playing games and I'm like trying to catch up with all the games and everything. I'm like, when am I gonna play more games when I'm already stuck with all these games to play? Okay, so after this, Fallen Legion. Do you guys know the game Fallen Legion?
Very, very excited. Do not sleep on Fallen Legion. Has anyone played the first two? It's like Fallen Legion, Sins of Rebellion, or like Flames of something. They look like the exact same game, but they're kind of like a Fire Emblem Fates thing of it split into two different stories.
I do not know anything about them. This is actually my first time seeing it.
Cannot recommend the original enough. You can buy them on different ways. They're all on... The first two games are all on Switch in one complete pack, even physically through NAS. Limited Run did a physical of both games on PS4. There's one version that was exclusively made for Vita at first. That is physical as well. The other one isn't. It is a turn-based RPG, but it's one of those ones, kind of like Indivisible, where each party member is a face button, where you have to kind of like manage your bars, similar to like I think a Grandia or something like that. Amazing art style, killer music. The voice acting is great. I'm so glad that like the first one was kind of a sleeper hit, but NIS had enough faith in publishing not only the first one that they've like really helped now put money into the sequel, and the sequel just looks like a better, prettier, more epic version of it. I don't know if like I can super recommend this new one without having beaten the first one yet, but like at the very least, Fallen Legion, super good. Like so many people just absolutely slept on it.
All right. So besides that, other thing that I see in February that people may be interested on is the Super Mario 3D World Switch port.
What do you again? You're skipping over the heavy hitters, man. For Koei Tecmo, you can't just talk about their 10 out of 10s. Atelier Thyza 2 coming out on PS4, Switch, and PS5.
Oh well,
It'll be 160
I'm not
bucks by the end
skipping
of
it.
March.
I'm not skipping it. It's just February the 12th is the Super Mario game.
But this is January 26th. We gotta.
Oh,
go
January.
down.
You're going in January.
Baby.
Oh
It's already
man,
out in Japan. Yeah,
everything
it's
is out in Japan.
Oh my god, yeah, that's out like a week from now almost.
Really? I don't know.
Has
don't
anyone
know,
here
I
played
don't know
any of the Gust RPGs? Out of curiosity,
I never heard of them actually.
you never heard of any of the Atelier games? They've been around since like PS2.
Yeah, my girlfriend loves the new Atelier Ryza, whatever it's called. She loves that game.
I don't know what it was. Like, besides the meme of, like, they just made instead of making a character with big tits, like, the whole joke is that the character has really thick thighs, hence why it's called Thyza, not Ryza. But, like, what's so funny about it is, like, it's their best-selling game ever. And, like, King, you joked about it's going to be $160 by the end of the month. It's like, dude, you're not wrong. It's like, something about this game, like, if a Koei Tecmo reprints your game, that's how you know, like, that it sold well. Koei Tecmo is one of those companies, they never reprint their games. And so, like, it's just so crazy. Like, it's had so much legs. I haven't played Ryza 1. I want to play Ryza 1 before I do 2. I'm excited that, to my knowledge, actually, unless I'm wrong, Ryza 2 might actually be the first AAA, first big budget PS5 JRPG from Japan, because it has a native PS5 port. I would count Yakuza, but it's not native.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
How far ago did the first Ryza come out? Like I walked into
barely into 2019, so it's barely 2 years old.
Because I walked into a local game store the other day, and I saw it on Switch, and they had it at, let me just say, it's out at shrink wrap and everything, still $150. That's really expensive for
it goes in and out of stock, but it's just one of those weird things of, like, some games that Koei Tecmo does stay in the bargain bin price forever, and then other ones don't. Like, I was looking for Attack on Titan 2, the DLC expansion they made physically.
Final Battle, yeah.
Yeah, Final Battle goes for over $100 now. Same with Attack on Titan 2. It's like these games you get used to just seeing because they're kind of niche and they don't sell all the time. Like, do you guys have any games like that you go back and look at and are like, oh my god, why is this so expensive now? Why did I pass on it?
I got Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle for $25 at Best Buy a few months ago.
I don't know.
That's insane.
I'll be honest with you guys. I don't actually like. Well, I like anime. I never really like anime games. Like, the only one exception will be like the Persona games, or maybe like
a lot of them are bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dragon Ball.
The Dragon Ball has like a million games that are like absolute trash. There's like few that you'll say like,
hey,
okay, for every one Dragon Ball game that is good, there is 5 that are
Every other
not.
Dragon Ball game is bad.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here.
I have something embarrassing to admit.
Okay.
I bought a copy of Dragon Ball FighterZ Z. Sorry, I bought a copy of Dragon Ball, and if you don't remember this, don't feel bad. That shows how bad this game was. Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Z. I think that's what it was called.
Oh,
it was like
terrible game for Vita. Terrible.
I bought
game.
it. I just bought it. It's
Did you get it for Vita?
stupid. It is stupidly expensive in English. Stupidly expensive.
Did you get it for Vita?
Yes, physically Vita. I got a copy finally. Just to like put this out there, I have to talk people down for selling that game for less than $300. That is how much that game goes for now.
That's
Are you
disgusting.
serious? That's weird.
That's not
That's
good.
weird. It's not even a good game.
It's not even a great game, but because I love the Vita and I love Dragon Ball, and it's the only Dragon Ball game on the system, I'm like, I have to own it. Like, it's just like I got it. Like I can't not.
Biggest Vita simp that we all know.
Just because you like to collect, but other than that, I don't see any purpose. I don't know, but you guys know what I mean, though. You guys know what I mean, though.
I have to say, before you trash on too much anime, shout out if anyone has played Attack on Titan by Koei Tecmo. That is a great game. Like, really, really great.
The first one?
No, the second one.
The second one is a good
really
one.
good.
Yeah.
No, the first one's good too. The first one's good.
I've only
alright.
played the first one a bit. That's all I played. I was so hesitant on getting the second one.
Do not get it for Switch. It's trash.
I mean, everything.
I have a copy of the second one coming on Vita. That I'm sure that'll run
Oh
at a
man, that's
clean
probably gonna
frame
run.
per second.
Oh no! I forgot that they made that for Vita
Oh
in Japan.
shit,
Oh
that's
no!
hilarious.
But no, I just want to say, if anyone in chat is also like, please drop good anime games. Like there are a lot of
No,
good
no,
ones,
I'm-
but it's
I'm
so-
not saying-
there are so many bad ones.
I want to make it clear. I'm not saying that they're bad, but there is a good majority of anime games that you play them and they just absolutely. I remember back in the day when I was a young weeb, and I bought a game of in the PlayStation 2.
Young Weeb. Is that
it's
your
Young
new Twitter
Weeb.
handle?
Young weed.
Yeah, that should be it right there. I'm like, I feel the more time passes and I see the new anime come out, I'm like, man, it used to be back in the day when I knew every single manga and anime. Like I had read, like there's a point that I had read everything that this website called One Manga. I don't know if it's still out there or not, but when I was young, that was like the one place to read manga online, and I had read everything that was in that manga website. Every single manga, like I was up to date. Anyway, so back to the actual topic. I bought this game, Full Metal Alchemist, for the PlayStation 2. The game was complete trash.
Wait, no, are you talking about the one published by Square Enix?
I don't know. I don't remember because I sold
I
it.
love Full Metal Alchemist
I don't-
on PS2. I loved those games.
No. But they were fun, but they were not. They were like, if you compare it to the anime or anything, I was just like, oh, but this is just so bad. Anyway, and I think I remember buying a lot of the Naruto. Oh, actually, some of the Naruto games were good on the PlayStation
Ultimate
2. I
Sword.
remember.
Naruto, dude,
Yeah.
Naruto games have so many good games.
Yeah,
It's like
they
not
had actually like they had a pretty good track record on like the Dragon Ball games. No, I'm
Also,
not sure.
This is
we're
hurting.
talking
No,
trash
dude,
about
there are way more worse Dragon Ball games. Like, that's
Oh,
not-
let's be honest here.
No.
If you compare,
I have to find out this. Hold on. Bro, was it Full Metal Alchemist and the Broken Angel, or was it Curse of the Crimson Elixir?
I have to look at the cover of it. If I see a cover,
So the covers are like very like you would take it was one of those things of just like it was very rare to see Square Enix do a licensed game. That's why I always remember FMA, because I was such a Full Metal Alchemist fan that like seeing that like getting a release, I remember was just so weird to me. It was like, well, I love Dragon Ball more than that.
yeah,
Like no one's going to be like, dude, did you hear that One Piece game sucked? No one's going to be surprised by that. Like
No.
because
Oh,
the
yeah.
series are so popular.
One Piece is mid tier.
One Piece. No, that's it right there. If there's one series that has the worst track record on games, it's One Piece.
Dude, I used to subscribe to Shonen Jump back in the day, and I got like this free One Piece game demo on my PS2. Dude, it was the biggest pile of garbage I've ever played. I don't know why they wanted to.
I swear to God, King, if you are talking about either Grand Adventure or Grand Battle, I will fly to your house and break your knees.
Bro, pull up, bro.
Was it a chibi style fighting game similar to like
No.
Power Stone?
No. It's just one of those anime-looking PlayStation 2 games.
Did you guys ever play Dragon Ball Sagas?
Awful
Not
game.
as bad as everyone says. Not as bad.
I looking back on it, dude, I wish we had a game like that done. Like wow,
Kakarot.
like, it's
The only
co-op,
problem with
though.
Sagas is too short. Sagas is too short, but that was because it was a lot of money for them at the time to make a not
and
fighting game.
it does like all of the Future Trunks arc. I'm like, no game ever like did it that thoroughly.
Also-
I remember loving it.
Also, we have to continue talking about games because we're still in January. But Kuro, I have to ask you this because you did kind of just throw the entire One Piece game fandom under the bus. I can understand Jump Force. I can understand even J-Stars and Burning Blood because Spike Chunsoft can't make a fighting game to save their life. But like, do the Pirate Warriors games not do anything for you?
Oh well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I don't like the Warriors games. Okay, I hate Warriors games. In fact, so whenever they announce a Persona 5 Warriors games, I was the one person that was absolutely 100% crushed. I was like, fuck this! I'm so pissed off that they announced a Warriors Persona game.
You hear that? You
Yes,
hear that?
yes. You guys can hear that 100%.
What is that? This is a brand new sealed copy of Pirate Warriors 4 I just bought today, just for you, Kuro. Right in my hands.
No, I'll tell you this. I was like 100% so pissed off that they announced the game. Whenever I played the demo, I was like, okay, this is more Persona than Warriors, and then I need to bring this up in a second. You guys saw this article that they did where it said he had like Persona 5 Strikers has Persona 5 DNA or whatever. I need to defend. I made a tweet about this, but I really need to defend it because I know exactly what they mean. As somebody that did not like or does not like Warriors games, I was super concerned that this game was just gonna be one of those Fire Emblem Warriors games or like all this other random warrior games that they do with properties. Like, they're not bad, but they're not good. You know, you play them for the property, but they're not really particularly super good. Anyway,
they're awesome. They're all good. Buy everyone. Buy all the games. Buy them on all systems. Get the Vita exclusive ones.
Anyway,
and Attack on Titan's also
Attack on
made by Koei
Titan.
Tecmo.
Yeah, I know. But you guys, I'm serious. Like, I do not like the Warriors gameplay. I absolutely never enjoyed it.
Yet this motherfucker right here has been streaming like 7 parts of Persona 5 Scramble.
No. I'm serious for this. But I need to bring this up again. That's why I'm defending this stupid ass article that who did Polygon, but with Polygon did with this stupid ass headline, because the game is more Persona than Warriors. If you played, and Spencer can agree with me, there's so much stuff of Persona in here that it almost barely feels like a Warriors game. There's a lot of Warriors in it.
It's not a Warriors game. It's not a Warriors game.
It is a Warriors game. No, it is a Warriors game. And he plays Warriors. But there is so much Persona in it.
Am I the only one here who's played the Heroes games, Dragon Quest Heroes?
I played that.
Or would you say you find it similar, actually, more to Dragon Quest Heroes than a Warriors game? Because it still is like a lot of the open world RPG aspects.
Yeah, and that's why I like Koei Tecmo, and I'll now give him a good prop for that. When you play that, or when you play the Legend of Zelda Warriors game, like, there's still a lot of retaining for that property that I like, especially the second one. They did a lot of good stuff for like being able to kind of add it. I just don't really like the Warrior style. Like, it doesn't click for me. It's just not my style.
This is the one thing I will say. I won't ask you any other questions about why you don't love one of the best franchises in all of history of gaming. But I have to ask, do you ever play them co-op? Because they are a million times so much more fun to play co-op than by yourself.
No, I do not play. I don't really play online or co-op. It's really rare that I play co-op.
The online is very hit or miss for like when they even will be included. But like, seriously, and I'm very biased here because like finding someone, because like we mentioned, these are a pretty niche like spin-off of series. The Warriors games are popular enough, but they're definitely not like something where it's like, oh, okay, like I see the point. And like I have a lot of friends who will like humor me of like, oh, I'll play a level of a Warriors game with you, but I won't do the whole game. Like, my wife is the type of person who, I remember once, like, I went to bed at like 10. I was like really tired, and I woke up at 4 in the morning, and she had just been playing in free mode, not even doing story mode, just leveling up a single character, Dynasty Warriors 8, for like 9 hours by herself. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I just kept playing. And like, so like with someone like her, I can play any of them co-op, and it becomes like the best game ever until we turn it off. Like, yeah, it has tons of flaws. Like, we'll make, like, put this into perspective. Dynasty Warriors 9, one of the most hated Dynasty Warriors games and worst Koei Tecmo games of all time, we bought because we could find it cheap. And when we played that co-op, we were like, it's pretty fun. This is like an ugly, terrible open world. This is fun co-op.
Dude, me and my buddy played Jump Force all the time. He got Jump Force on the Switch, just so we could play. Dude, playing it co-op with a friend is just so much more fun. You know, if you see Yugi and then Goku unleashing a Kamehameha, and then, you know, Yugi summoning Slifer the Sky Dragon at the same time, it's just so much fun. I mean, these kinds of games are much better.
Any game,
co-op.
we can just say this straight up. Okay?
Any game
online, or
let's make that happen.
any game that you play with friends is better.
Yes.
Any game that you play with your friends is way better than playing it alone. It doesn't matter what game it is. If Fallout 76 is fun when you play with your friends. Hell, my buddy bought a copy of Fallout 76 so I can play with him, and I was like.
It makes a bad game funny still, at least.
I don't know. Have you played Red Dead Redemption 2 Online's mode?
No, because I refuse. After I played,
it's bad.
Well,
I didn't mind it. I had fun. I like roping my friends up and like put them on a horse. It's hilarious, man.
Red Dead Online is not fun in the action sense. It's very fun if you're into RPing. Like if you got an RP
Yeah.
game for it, Red Dead's really good for that.
I guess that's what we did a lot. Like, just goof around like that. There's nothing else like it, man.
Rising, anytime anyone reminds me of Red Dead Online, it's just that is the game where I play online poker with people. That's all I do. That's all I do with it.
True.
Well, bringing back and going back to the actual subject of Persona 5 Strikers, now that I kind of bring it up earlier, have you guys gotten a chance to play the demo in Japanese, Rising or King?
I'm going in completely clear. I've steered away from that kind of stuff, so whenever I play the game and stream it, it's just full genuine reactions. I watched some of the gameplay, like the English gameplay that just came out. Other than that, I've been making myself.
You're going really clean. What about you, King? Did you get to play that beta demo? No beta.
Oh yeah, loved it. I actually bought the fucking game for $230 from PlayAsia. Then a month later, these guys just dropped the trailer for the English version. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. But it's a lot of fun.
Let me ask you something. Why did you buy that $230 when you can find a Chinese version for half the price?
Because
he doesn't want to support communist Kuro. He's not a socialist communist.
You're still supporting the company. You're still supporting the company, though. You're still supporting Atlas. Or this red or blue.
Still, wanted that original Japanese version.
Anyway, so you have plenty of time with it, though, right? You played it. Did you finish it?
I did not. I played about 2 or 3 hours, and then did a stream or two on it, and then a month later, Atlas comes and the trailer gets leaked, and I was like, I better hold off until
it gets leaked by our wonderful friend here, Spencer.
It is still my most viewed video, and
It
I
will
love
continue
that
to
I
be.
actually... I'm either close, or I think I might actually have more views than the official Atlas one. That's
Spencer.
the proud moment.
Spencer, was the second trailer leaked too? Did I hear things that the second trailer?
It was leaked.
The ad
What
was
hasn't
not
been leaked?
The 30-second ad was like put around in like social media cropped Garbo mode, but like they had an unlisted version of it in 1080p like widescreen. So I uploaded that early, and that was one of those ones of literally I was editing a video where I was editing episode 200. And just to be a little crass, I was on the bathroom toilet and I saw the video went up on my phone. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be in here a while. I'll just
very fitting for how they're promoting.
You guys,
I was like,
that
hey,
minute
and
Scramble
trailer, so I'll just upload this while I'm on the toilet. Like 10 people will care.
Spencer.
And now I think it has like 20 something K.
very
Spencer,
fitting.
the 1 minute video too from Friday that also leaked a few hours before too. I saw
How does Atlas continue to do this?
It's
Man?
because they keep posting them unlisted, and like, who the fuck whoever's uploading their shit, it just needs to like get fired. Or no, I'm not. I don't mean that, but like, so they needs to get trained better, I guess, on that, because like they keep continuously uploading like
classic communist Kuro over here. Someone leaked something from his government. Mysterious Atlas disappearance. Don't look for him. He's gonna get some new cinder block shoes.
I got the Chinese version of the game over here.
Hey, okay, the Chinese version is just easier to get translated, okay?
How does Xi Jinping's boots taste when you were playing that version? It tastes good?
Oh, whoa, okay. Oh, man,
You're
he's
on a
getting
list
shots
somewhere.
fired over here.
I'm gonna mute myself before anything else gets said.
Okay, we're gonna move on from that conversation. Alright, so... you guys want to talk a little bit about Spencer? Do you want to talk a little bit about the gameplay itself, or the game itself, or do you want to just move on from P5S?
So, I think with P5S, it's just like we're at this point now. It's a really weird point, especially for somebody like me. Of like, the full game is out, like in English and Japanese, and we're now in this weird spot of like. I think the hype for this game is really going to fizzle out in a way that's not going to help Atlas. I hope I'm wrong. But my theory behind it is this of the reviews are going to drop in the next 2 weeks. I know that for sure. I can't tell you guys the exact embargo date, but reviews are going to drop very early February for the game. And I think reviews are going to be genuinely pretty high, and there's going to be a lot of hype and anticipation, but I think what's really going to kill this game is that they kind of blew their load early with the previews of like, hey, here's like 6 hours of the game. Here you go, guys, but don't play a demo. I think if they dropped a demo on Friday, that would have been perfect. But again, God forbid they release a demo in the West. So the big problem with this is that Digital Deluxe Edition being 4 days early, I think, is really going to split a lot of the conversation up. You're going to have people playing the game on the 19th and being like, whoa, this game is sweet. And then you're going to have people on launch day looking at Twitter and people are like, rolled credits, man, this game was sweet. And be like, oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah, because this game is, I'll say, about like what, 40 to 50 hours long if you just go
Very
through the
long.
story.
It's a
But it's a game that you can definitely, somebody like me that finished Spider-Man, Platinum Spider-Man into what is that, Spider-Man the second game? I platinum that game in 1 day.
Miles Morales. How'd you forget that?
Yeah, I platinum Miles Morales in 1 day. So like for like 20 hours, like it was like literally I streamed it and I didn't go to sleep. I literally just sat there and played that game. So yeah, like if you can definitely probably finish that game in 4 days. So I'm just worried about this because spoilers are gonna go out. People are gonna be mad about this. Atlas is gonna probably not comment on the massive 4 day gap between. I don't know. I feel like it's a fiasco.
I still don't know what they're thinking with this. It's like they're doing like some sort of EA or 2K thing with this 4 day early release.
The one thing that kind of upsets me a little bit is they're not doing a deluxe edition for the game physically, but they're doing a deluxe edition digitally.
I
that
think
bothers
that's
me
a great point to bring up.
quite a
The
bit.
deluxe version was available physically. I think that would be a totally different thing. The fact that this is probably one of their most split titles they ever released in terms of, hey, do you want a pin? Obviously, no one wants the pin. I'm just saying. Sorry,
I want a
Do you want
pin.
a pin?
Hey Spencer, I
Do
want a
you
pin.
Yeah, do you want a Steelbook? You got to go to Best Buy. Do you want to play it early? You got to play the full price version on the PlayStation Store. Like, there's no happy medium of like everywhere.
Well, to be frank, that's a really Atlas Japan thing. You know this.
Yeah,
you know that's not really Atlas
Japan.
Japan.
Like, Atlas
They do
Japan
this
has never
every
really catered to it.
time.
Hey,
Every
can I
time.
ask y'all a
Persona
question
5
right quick?
Rojo, before you ask me a question, I just want to state this statement. Persona 5 Rojo had 15 different giveaway things for pre-order, depending on what store you bought this from. Whether it was Amazon or whatever one of those mini stores, every one of them had so many different things that you could get from the pre-orders. That's annoying. Even different metal cases, steel cases. There was a couple of different ones from the different pre-order bonuses. Go ahead and King.
In that case, well, really quick, just to defend the Japanese thing, that is a situation of they've been doing that forever for every publisher in Japan. Like every retailer, Ami, GEO, Amazon Japan, everybody has like their own stuff for it. And I think the reason why it gets away with it is because for the most part, yeah, if you wanted all of it, it's a pain in the butt. But no one's losing sleep over not having a fabric poster, stickers, coffee mugs, and a clear file folder. But like something like a steelbook or playing the games 4 days early, those feel consequential.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Without a doubt. Like the Steelbook too, on like not having it on the PS4 right away, it was like, what? Like, what were they even thinking with that one? Because I think more. I don't know. We were talking about this on Twitter a few days ago. It's like, who's going to be the biggest player base for this? It's kind of hard to tell.
Man, I wish we could go into a deep conversation about that because I got my opinions about how this game
we can talk about this. I don't care. We got all the time in the world. I'm just kidding. We're only in February. It's 46 minutes into this podcast.
This happens every time.
Bowser's Fury, guys.
Super Saiyan Mario. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I've seen that. What is that about?
Oh, I am here for it though. I love it so much.
Dude, it was sick.
Oh,
I seen
man,
a picture. It was like,
I'm just confused. That was. I wish I had done a reaction video for that trailer because I was legitimately confused when I saw that. I was like,
"You're confused." I say, "Why hasn't this happened before now?"
my brother showed the pictures to me, and I thought it was like a fan thing. I was like, "That's not like an actual game, is it?" And he's like, "No, that's the new game." I'm like, "Oh."
The funniest thing is that's not even a new game. That's just a new DLC for the 3D game, which is.
It's funny you call it DLC for 3D World. Literally, Bowser's Fury to me looks like the DLC everyone wanted for Mario Odyssey. They just put it in another game.
Gets me. I don't know why haven't we had any DLC for Mario Odyssey?
I don't think the game
Same,
sold as well as
reason
they.
no DLC for Mario Kart 8. You're buying it anyways. Why put it into that when they put in the new
Mario
one?
Party should have had DLC.
Oh yeah, that game it's still bare bones at best.
Yeah, it's so boring. And
Don't
supposedly
remind
they're
me.
making a new one, and I'm like,
Don't even remind me. I'm still mad that I got that game. I'm kind of like,
That is the
Those
worst
are the time where it
$60.
wasn't much out. You had to just buy
I don't know.
the couple of
I
good games.
think I feel like over the years I've become more and more anti Nintendo. Like I don't mean it like in like I fucking hate Nintendo. Not what like Square Enix. I do fucking hate Square Enix. I want to make that clear. But
God, dude, we need to do that.
every time.
Kingdom Hearts 2 to you, man.
Every
What's
time-
a Kingdom Hearts 2 to you?
Every time that I get a chance to shit on.
Clearly, he's not a fan of Winnie the Pooh, as it is a illegitimate comparison to Gigi being our god and savior.
Every time I get a chance to shit on Square Enix, I will. But no, for real, Nintendo, it has just been making some really weird choices with a lot of other stuff that they've been doing. Because I love the Switch, but sometimes I'm like, but do I really want to get this on Switch? Every time I ask myself that question, I don't know. Do I
Unless
really
you
want to
want
support?
to sell it back and it'll be rare in the future, no. Like the only games I buy on Switch now at this point are when I want them. Collecting on the
Yeah.
Switch, unless I was trying to make money, is like such a like lossless effort. Like a good example, I bought Cyber Sleuth, the complete edition on Switch today. I'm never going to touch that port. I only bought that just because I love the Digimon games, and I was like, I have them all on Vita, I have them all on PS4, I might as well buy the worst running Switch version. But it's like, if you are into the concessions and that's your only way to play it, yeah, the Switch is a great system. But especially for people like us who have a lot of multi-platform stuff, it's like, why am I playing the Switch version?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've seen a lot of people. Like I just did this performance
Catherine.
video on I just did this Persona video on the Persona video. Yeah, Persona video on the performance of the Strikers game. Because I was curious mainly about the PC version. Have you guys heard about the PC version yet? I was telling Rising about it.
I've
It's
heard
literally-
different things.
It's weird, man.
It's literally the PS4 version. It's locked at
Well,
it's
there's a
locked
big
at 60
asterisk there.
FPS. It's locked at
it's the PS4 Pro version,
Yeah.
but it actually has exclusive options, which actually I hope get patched into the other versions, because in options you can't actually manage audio settings the way you can in the PC version.
Yeah.
Like you can't change sound, you can't change effects, you can't change voices, but those are all baked into the PC version.
Yeah.
But not the new English version.
Why?
because Atlas is Atlas, and it's probably not gonna be patched. Yeah, Spencer and I know this. Like they rarely do patches. It's so weird, but didn't Royal get one patch in the entirety of the time? Or was that
In
all?
Japan, Royal has no patches. Same with Vanilla P5. In America, it got 2 patches. One was a day 1 patch, and the other one was a patch to fix a really dumb typo. Neither of the patches helped the overall quality of the game. I will say this though, in something if you guys haven't been following Scramble as long, I 100% bet this gets patched. Koei Tecmo is great about post-launch support. They literally even patched Strikers the day before PS5 came out to make it run better on PS5. They are committed to even porting, like working on the system in ways that like most companies, especially Atlas, aren't. So like I appreciate that. And not only like they're not just doing like, oh, here's a patch of like, check it out, man. Like they're doing patches of like, hey, we fixed this issue. Here's patch notes. They do detailed updates. Like I wouldn't even be surprised if like once the US releases out that they even like make more plans for stuff.
I really want them to clean the character models on 4K because they're really stretched out. If you
It can be a little
Dude, the pictures
distracting
you
at
showed
times.
No,
me,
yeah, like
so weird
they're
looking, man.
really stretched out. And when the thing is, like when you play I have a PlayStation 4 Classic. That's not in 1080p. That's only in 4K. Like that, they're just like I don't know why it happened, but it's just like, oh man, I kind of feel bad for that. Especially when you're gonna see it in a 4K monitor on your computer, you will notice that. It's when you sit pretty close to the computer. I sit pretty close to my computer, so you're gonna notice that.
Hero,
Yeah.
you've been playing Scramble on your PS5 for your streams and
That's
everything, right?
right. Yeah. Mhm.
Dude, how silky smooth is that gameplay on the PS5, man? It is amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it's really clean, and that's the thing is, it's gonna be locked at 60 just as the PC version, so it doesn't go any higher. So It just depends
Also,
on.
I have heard some people complaining about, like, I saw like a couple people on Twitter, not like a lot, of like saying, "Oh man, how lazy the PC version's locked to 60. Like, why
Is
can't we have, like,
is your computer even gonna run higher than 60 FPS? Let's be honest with that here.
People who could, but like the thing about it, I find it funny.
No, I'm just saying, like, the majority of people. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, but like the funniest part about it is, like, assuming all that out of the way, like, without even getting into the fact that, hey, maybe the animations are fucked if you run them past 60. Like, look at something like Dark Souls 2. What happened when that got bumped from 30 to 60? But what's so funny about it is, like, for a Koei Tecmo PC port, that's actually, like, they have way more options, and the game is looking very solid. Like, Koei Tecmo are not known for their day one PC ports to be great, let alone good. Honestly, most Japanese ports to PC always have a lot of problems day one. But, like, I publicly put this out there on Twitter because I'm this confident about it. Day one of Strikers being out on PC, there will be a mod, A, for nude character models for all the girls, and B, for unlocked frame rate. Because it's like, dude, name me a PC action game that can't just mod out, like, issues like that you want. Like, those files will be there. Like, if you really want to, like, fiddle around with it, you can do it. Like, trust me, you'll see CJ and Lamar in Strikers on day one.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm hyped for, is all the mods that we're gonna get. So my pre-order so far, I bought the PlayStation 4 version because of the metal case, and I bought the Steam version because I wanna get it the 4 days early.
Just think, we're only a month away from seeing everyone's favorite redone scene from Grand Theft Auto 5 with
with Ryuji and Joker. I can't wait to see that.
This is the only thing that I look for so much on the PC version, mods. Like, there's already so many mods that people have been doing for the P4G. So I'm super excited for that. That's like super hype right there for me. Alrighty, guys.
Come out of it
I'm the only one here without a PC, huh?
Oh, are you really?
I have a Chromebook, unfortunately.
Oh man, you gotta invest in one of them. I recommend that for a future thing. I don't know, especially if you're trying to do YouTube a little bit seriously. Like, when I started, I had a laptop that was like, like a school laptop kind of thing that I bought for school purposes, not for editing or anything like that. And I was rendering one 10-minute video, and it literally took 10 hours to render, and I was like,
dude, I would upload videos overnight. Like, I'd go to bed, wake up, I hope it's done. It might be.
It might be. Yeah, this is just the rendering on the software, not the uploading or any of the other stuff. This is just the rendering when you go to Premiere or whatever, and do all the stuff. It took forever. I was like, I need to invest in a computer if I want to do this seriously. So, like, I saved some money. I started building parts. In fact, the case that I bought is a case that I bought for $20 of somebody on Facebook Market. It's some random case. It's not even good. It's like complete trash. But this is the only thing that I could find that was cheap enough for the PCs. So I'm like, until I can save more money for that, it's fine.
When Kuro says Facebook Marketplace, he does mean Wish.com. So just in case anyone was wondering.
By the way, I have poured an entire bottle of wine, and we aren't even past February yet. I'm so hyped for this.
I love that you assume that there are games announced past March. That's very optimistic of you.
Oof. Hey, I know one game that isn't coming this year. SMT 5.
Oh!
Speaking of games that are coming out in February that definitely shouldn't be coming out this year, can we talk about our first, like, probably dud of the year, or at least my guess for the first dud of 2021? Yeah. Am I the only one here who thinks Bravely Default 2 is going to suck hot ass?
Ain't gonna sell.
No, it's not. What do you mean it's going to sell? No way.
I said it ain't going to sell. That's what
okay.
I said.
Which game? I'm sorry, I got distracted for like a minute.
Bravely Default 2, I think, is going to come out and have as much excitement as Yokai Watch 3.
Oh man, I just made a video talking about my...
So Yokai Watch 3?
There's a Yokai Watch 4!
What?
There's a Yokai Watch 1 HD remaster on PS4 you probably didn't even know about.
I had no idea. My girlfriend's she loves Yokai Watch, and I had no idea there were two other games.
Yokai Watch 3, very expensive if you want an English copy, just letting you know.
McDonald's. Alright. Sorry about that, my girl. I was like, I'm hungry, and I'm like, oh yeah, the last time we ate food was like 4 hours ago.
I get that.
Insert our Grubhub hat. Everyone listening, if you're enjoying listening to the Midnight Channels podcast, be sure to use Grubhub. Use
this is
code
live.
Bro.
So actually, oh man. All right. So I guess we need to move on from what? Are we still in February here?
I've already poured a glass
I
of
gotta
wine.
ask, so no one here is excited for Bravely Default?
Yeah, I am.
I was thinking I'd be the only one.
I am excited for Bravely Default.
Tell me why you were excited. Just because even with all the demos, everything I've touched about the game, I'm just like, it rings hollow. It's weird.
Well, the only reason why I'm excited for it is very simple. I never played the one on the 3DS, so I'm very excited for this one. This is gonna be my first time playing.
Kuro, can I just remind you, like, not even 10 minutes ago, you did just say you hate Square Enix.
I do. That doesn't change the fact that I want to play this game. There's two games.
The fact that you're a step for him. Bro.
No. Let me tell you this, okay? There's two games that I'm only supporting from Square Enix at this particular time: Final Fantasy 16 and Bravely Default, and maybe Final Fantasy 7, the remake part 2, if the trailers look good enough that I will try it.
What about Nier?
Oh shit! No, don't start with me. Oh shit! Nier is Square Enix too? Is it really?
What do you mean? Is it? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Dragon Guard, Square Enix, Dragon Quest.
I had such bad luck. I had such bad luck with the Nier games. The Nier game on the PS3, my PS3 crashed. So I never played
Most people
that.
don't know this about Square Enix. So you guys all know about Dragon Quest Builders 1, right?
No of it.
It's Dragon Quest meets Minecraft with a story mode.
Yeah.
Really great game. Awesome game. You guys know there was a sequel that came out in 2019, correct?
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Do you guys know who made that sequel?
No.
That was made by the Koei Tecmo Omega Force team who made Scramble.
What?
Oh, really?
Yes. For some reason, the original dev team was too busy to make the sequel to one of their most highest selling games of all time. So they were like, hey, hold on, I'm literally about to choke and die. Hold on.
Please don't die. We're in the middle of a podcast.
Is it just as good or no?
Do we need to?
It is even better, IMO, but like it does some interesting things of like, it's a great sequel from everything I played. I actually just picked it up recently, but what's so funny about it, it literally is just like with Fire Emblem Three Houses of the original creators were like, ooh, I don't know if we're good at making games anymore. Can you guys just do this for us and we won't credit you? And they're like, sure thing.
All right.
That's the weirdest thing.
Oh, hold on. I got a subscriber. Jiro Droid, thank you so much for subscribing. And also, shout out to my best friend, Bloody Seymour. He's my actual real life friend. He popped up a minute ago. Thank you so much for coming by. I don't know if he's still here or not, but thank you so much for that.
I don't like how you phrase that. You kind of made it sound like there's a chance he might be your only friend.
Yikes! I'm your friend, Kuro. Don't worry, man. I'm your friend.
Okay, thank you so much. See, we got friends here. Yeah, we got friends going on. Spencer's my friend too. Are you Spencer?
There's bully Spencer in this podcast right here saying he doesn't have any friends.
You know,
I gave up friends so I can simp my wife. I'm okay with that.
Big facts, so that's a part of life, ladies and gentlemen. If you're under 21 right now, just know you pretty much won't have any friends after you get married.
Apparently, that's what happens. From what I
hear.
It
is what happens.
I don't know. I'm not.
You guys trying to scare me? Like
he's like trying to scare me.
Relationships are great. I love my girlfriend with all my heart.
Speaking of being scared,
I'm not even married. I don't have that many friends. Damn.
Who on earth is excited for the new Harvest Moon
I was
game
literally about to bring this up.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
She
your girlfriend loves Story of Seasons. Harvest Moon is not actually Harvest Moon anymore. Remember that.
She loves both of them. She plays both of them.
No, she doesn't. They're all bad. They're very bad.
Oh, Spencer, you tripping right now, bro.
No one out there will say, oh yeah, Harvest Moon is definitely better than Story of Seasons. Story of Seasons is just the better Harvest Moon.
I mean, you ain't wrong, but she still loves Harvest Moon.
She just likes buying the pre-order plushies on day one. That's what she really
likes.
Oh,
she loves her cow plushie that she got.
Very nice. So, yeah, I don't know anything about the Harvest Moon games. I think my girlfriend plays them.
You don't know anything about them? Like if you don't play them, that's one thing, but
No.
you really don't know anything.
So
They're
let me
pretty
tell
big.
you. Let me tell
I
you
don't know
this.
anything.
There's one thing you need to know about me. If there's any interest in the game, I will find out a little bit about it. But if they hold no interest whatsoever, I will purposely just avoid everything that I can find out about it. 'Cause I'm like, I'm just gonna
I
move on
don't know
from
why,
that.
Carl, but like the way you were phrasing that, I was just so ready here to be like, listen, guys, you probably just don't know this about me. I'm a Monster Energy Supercross 4 kind of guy. I just gotta play my Monster Energy games. Gotta go vroom vroom in the cars and the bikes. Gotta go fast.
I gotta
Gotta go
fast.
sloppy.
Oh man, you're killing me. here.
Also, because no one's gonna mention this, I have to bring this up. Is anyone here excited / knows about Savior of the Sapphire Wings and Stranger of Sword City Revisited?
I literally have no idea the words that you just
Dude,
used.
it sounds
What
like,
words?
Is
Is this a real thing? Is this an anime game?
While having one of the worst names out there, it's 2 RPGs, 2 different games, not related to each other at all. The only thing they share is that they're made by the same developer, Experience. So Experience is a very interesting dev. During the Vita, they made nothing besides SMT clones. They just made first-person dungeon crawlers that were all based off SMT. And obviously they ranged in quality a lot, but this is coming in the West only to Switch and PC. I just want to give a shout out to it because Strangers of Sword City, specifically, which is included in this, I haven't played Savers of the Sapphire Wings yet, but Stranger of Sword City, amazing SMT-like game.
I really want to
Cannot
interrupt
recommend
you
it
for 2 seconds. Is this an anime game?
So that's the best part. This game does something I've never seen before. No shit. Seriously, it had some games will have like, do you want subs? Do you want dubs? Like, what kind of music do you want? Do you want retro music? Do you want current music? Do you want an orchestra? Do you want electronic? This game, I've never ever seen this before for a new game. Not a remaster, a game that has done this for. It has a visual style selector. It has, do you want hardcore, gritty, Western, like fantasy, realistic Dark Souls-like art, or do you want big-tittied anime girls? And it's all in the same game. It's really
Why
funny.
not both?
Why not both?
Gunsmith like sells me on a new game. I don't know how it is.
Every time,
What's so
every
great
time
about it
that
is
we
'cause,
talk
most
about
people
this
don't
game,
know about Experience, and like I need to talk more about them. Like they have so many great games of like I always tell this people who like I either say the Vita doesn't have a lot of games. What's so funny is the Vita has the most SMT clones out of the entire SMT series. Like there are more clones of SMT on one system than the entire series has put out.
Wow.
why am I not surprised about that at all? Alright, so I guess we want to move on from that to Prince of Persia in March. You guys know
I
anything?
kind of want to try it because I love the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about it. I've been eyeballing it, but
Yeah.
from what I've heard, some of those Prince of Persia games were kind of But
Well,
hopefully this
Am I
is
Sands of Time
the
is
only
like-
one here who played Saints of Time?
Yeah, I was about to say it's probably the best Prince of Persia game, and it's also the building block for the Assassin's Creed games. So that's kind of like what triggered the Assassin's Creed series. I like the game. I just don't like how it looks. It doesn't really feel like a remake. It feels like a remaster.
It looks weird.
It looks
full
like
price. That's the weirdest part.
Yeah.
It looks cheap, but it's not cheap. Like if it was $40 or $30, that'd be one thing. But like it's a full $60 for one game.
Oh no. Yeah. See, I don't know. If it's cheap,
It'll
at some
definitely be
point,
one to
I'll
like.
film
It,
it.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it could be good. It could be good, but like, wait for reviews, and B, Ubisoft games always go cheap, like super fast, like
Yeah.
literally
2 weeks
within
after.
weeks. Yeah.
That's probably my
Look
plan
at the
for
new
it.
Watch Dogs game. It went $30 within like 2-3 weeks.
all right, guys. So you guys no excitement for this game whatsoever?
I am excited as a longtime Prince of Persia fan, but like I mentioned, just with the looks, the studio making it, it's like
Yeah.
it's
Honestly,
like
this shouldn't be called a remake. It bothers me the choice of words here because this is definitely a remaster. It's not a remake.
I think the industry has a hard
But
time with that.
But no, see, but that's the weird thing about it. It's like, but at the same time, they literally remade the cutscenes. They re-mocapped them. They re-brought in Yuri Lowenthal. Like they they put money into this game. I just think the problem was they were putting money into the wrong parts of it.
Sounds like it, yeah. From what I've seen, and because I've seen a lot of about it. I've been interested in it, but I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. I don't know. There's something about it that doesn't look right to me.
I want to learn what like, because I'm pretty sure the Assassin's Creed series, I think it was supposed to be a game about a bodyguard for the main character in Prince of Persia. That's how it came about. So I'd like to like play Prince of Persia just for that reason, to know like, you know, how that came to be. That's mostly why I'm excited about it. But I wasn't gonna go back and play the original, like really old one. So that's kind of why I'm interested in it as well.
Yeah.
What's funny about the original, if you can find it, they actually remade Prince of Persia Classic in the art style of Sands of Time. It looks really, really cool.
All right, so I guess we're just gonna move on from that. What game is next here? Returnal for
Returnal, baby.
It's a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Please, somebody tell me that they know who makes this and B is excited because of the developer.
Is it Capcom?
Oh, anyone else?
Is it no? Okay.
I don't have a PS5. I can't.
Well, it doesn't matter because you probably played one of their games. This is made by Housemarque. They did Resogun, Dead Nation, Super Stardust HD, Matterfall. They have done so many awesome arcadey-like games. And what's so cool about this is their first big budget, like kind of AAA-like game. And I know people aren't 100% sold on it. Like it looks to be like a run-based like game, but I'm really into the concept because it is basically live, die, repeat, but with a sci-fi horror aspect and no Tom Cruise. So of like every time you die, you're going through the world again, trying to make it through this nightmare hellscape, but the world changes every time. So like it's a PS5 exclusive. It looks amazing. I love the developer, but like the concept alone, I'd be excited no matter who made it.
I'll have to look at it and see some gameplay of it. I mean, I would plan on getting a PS5
it's cool.
this year, so I've been eyeballing the kind of games that I plan to pick up first with it. Like, I know Demon's Souls, obviously, like a couple other ones, but like, I think when I buy a PS5, I want to have at least like a good like roster of games ready to go. You know what I mean? Okay,
so Spencer, a question that is not related to the topic we're doing, but somebody's asking me here. Okay. Do you prefer... Oh, okay, Spencer already answered the question. Wow, Spencer, you're much faster than my question here. But it's already interrupted.
I was choking and laughing as you were saying it. I'm glad I was muted while I was choking it.
Man.
Royal over vanilla any day. The only reason to play Royal is if you're trying to make me mad or if you're just very poor.
Let's
like,
put
that's
a big asterisk on this. Let's put a big asterisk on this because I really want to talk about this as well. You guys... Rising, are you still playing through Royal, right, for the first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you did finish Royal, right, King?
Oh, yeah, definitely within 2 weeks.
So which one is your favorite ending?
Royal, for
Royal,
sure.
Okay. So
no doubt.
So I want to mention this because I've seen a lot of people say that Persona 5 Strikers is a sequel to Persona 5 and not to Persona 5 Royal. Finish Persona 5 Royal and get the good ending or the perfect ending. You will is definitely 100% the sequel to Royal. 100%. No questions asked. If you get...
See, my thing is always this. Why does it matter? Literally, and this isn't going to spoil anything if you haven't beaten either.
Yeah.
Both endings involve him going back to his hometown.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the ending. It doesn't matter how he gets there.
Exactly.
He goes back home.
Exactly.
So why the hell does it matter? Did he go in an Uber or did he go in a van? Is it the bang bus or is it the fake taxi?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly, because the game...
That's the endings I need to see. Hold on.
Was Striker still in production when, Royal was finishing?
No, they were both in production at the same time.
2017. So, yeah, they were around the same time.
They were both in production. But a couple things here, like Kazumi is not in there because if you do her confident, she's out there doing gymnastic stuff. So quit asking me why Kazumi is not in the game. They literally
wrote her off,
every day I just have messages and comments in my videos. Why is Kazumi not in Strikers? I'm like, okay, I'm tired of repeating myself here. Play the damn game. Do her confident. She mentions
Rising. Preston, can I ask
Yeah.
you though? Who's your best girl in P5?
So
My
far.
P5R.
So far.
So far?
So far. Because you haven't
Well,
done
I have a
Kasumi
tier
yet,
list.
right?
No, but I put her like A or B if I remember right. I did like a tier list thing, kind of like as a joke, like a half joke. Nah, I put Makoto like number 1. That's the kind of person I'd like personally, I guess.
Kawakami
Not
number
bad.
1.
Have you not beat Vanilla? Or you just jumped into Royal for the first time, right?
Me? No, I beat Vanilla.
Okay, so has everyone here beat Vanilla's ending?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so am I the only one here who thinks that Vanilla Persona 5's ending is like one of the worst endings?
It's so
of the entire
anticlimactic.
series?
The
It's so
boss battle and
anticlimactic.
everything's like epic as
It's
hell.
abrupt.
Then the cutscenes are just like
That
Yeah.
is a choice. That is a choice of words. Like literally, the entirety of Persona 5, without getting into spoilers, the last 2 dungeons in the entire ending just are like the longest, saddest, wettest trombone sound for me. Of like, it sucks all the air out of the game. Nothing really that fun happens, and then when you finally beat it, it's like, and did it matter? No.
I like the ending dungeons.
And then Royal comes along and just blows it completely out. the
Well,
water.
see, like my thing with the ending dungeons is this: whether you like the Memento's dungeon or Shido's dungeon, guess what? If you took out Memento's dungeon or Shido's dungeon, and one of those were the only final dungeon, it wouldn't matter. Both of those endings are not satisfying. Both of the Shido's dungeon is more interesting from like plot points that happen that mostly is saved by like Akechi and a couple of little moments. But like
Yeah.
literally the reason I hate Shido's dungeon and Royal does nothing to change either one. Spoilers. Sorry, they're still gonna suck in Royal. In Royal, it is still find a guy, talk to a guy, give the guy what he wants, don't fight the guy, JK fight the guy. You do that 5 times in both versions of the game, and it is never fun.
Oh man.
It's true.
Yes. I totally
always
agree
tell
with that.
them-
I guess in terms
I
of
always
story,
tell them, P5 had a chance to be like really funny and basically subvert our expectations. If that whole thing was finding the 4 letters of acceptance and it was the same thing every time, but then the Yakuza guy at the end comes out and then he's like, "Hey, I've been tracking you down. You're gonna have to beat me up now." And then he was just like, "Oh, hey, I just want a tattoo. That's all. Then you guys can leave." And that was it. That would have been the funniest thing ever. Like, that would have been like, "That's great. Like, that's really funny. You made me go through 4 terribly, terribly long segments, but that one joke made it worth it." Doing it for a 5th time as a surprise, just like, oh man, this game can't get much worse than this. And then you go through mementos of like, oh wow, this is the worst dungeon in the game. This is
No,
like,
no. Ozzy, I got a lot of love for Ozzy, but Okumura is the worst. I'm sorry.
Okumura, it's like whether you care about it or not, Okumura has visual differences, has puzzles, has unique things about it.
Cool.
The only thing Depths of Memento has to offer is I hope you like top-down puzzles that are stupidly easy. Also, this goes on 3 hours longer than it should. Like the entire.
I just have this one thing to mention about all the Persona dungeons. There's absolutely no reason for puzzles in the Persona dungeons. They are not hard. They just drag the dungeon for absolutely ungodly amount of time. And none of them are fun. I haven't had a fun in a single dungeon in a Persona game ever.
I will say this is not a Persona game. The best dungeon puzzle design in Atlas history, at least recent history, has to go to TMS. TMS has great dungeon puzzles.
It does, yeah. It does. I'll give him that. But no, Persona, for some reason, like, I don't know what's the need for these puzzles. That they don't do anything to the story. They don't do anything for the dungeon itself. It's
Are
just
you talking about the one where... Oh, go ahead, Ryzen. Go
I
ahead.
think I was streaming the Okumura puzzles, and like I played P5 ready, and I was getting to it. I'm like, well, Royal for sure fixed like some of these puzzles, right? It made it a little more enjoyable. And like I think you were in my like chat or something, and that you're like, nah, it's still ass. I'm like, oh, okay.
No way. As the only one here who played both literally back to back, the Okumura Dungeon in Royal is a third as long. They cut out 2/3 of that whole dungeon.
I'm just mean in terms of difficulty, because I didn't. The first 2 puzzles are solvable. The last one, it's like you just flipping switches and you hope something happens.
I mean, it's a science to it. It's not hard, but it's just
Oh,
tedious,
you're
it's
talking about the
annoying.
one where they're in space.
Yeah,
right?
when
Yeah,
you're in
that's what I'm
space and
talking
he's
about.
shooting you back and forth, and you have
That
to flip the
actually is
switch for the
pointless.
alpha, for the omega, and you have to
That-
go
that
back
was
and forth
ass.
and everything. It just
Yeah.
drags time. Can I just fight him already? I don't care about this puzzle. It doesn't add anything to the experience. It doesn't make the game better or worse. The only thing
There's
that
only
it does
two
is just
battles,
adds
too, in the
time.
puzzles.
Yeah, they're just burying enemies. It doesn't. It's not giving you items. It's not giving you anything that you need for the game. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
If I wanted to play an Atlas puzzle game, I'd play Catherine. By the way, everyone play Catherine.
Yeah,
Catherine's so
definitely.
good.
It's a great game. It's a great game. I will say it's probably one of the more underrated games. But
I
then
agree.
13 Sentinels
Yes.
and TMS didn't
And you know
sell.
what? Everybody
well.
talked about how all of the like Persona games got their soundtracks on there. Catherine did as well.
Dude, Catherine's
That's also
soundtrack is
on Spotify.
phenomenal, man.
So good.
Same with
man.
Etrian Odyssey, but those are probably like I'm a huge Yuzo Koshiro fan, but like I don't think as many people were like peeing their pants about Etrian Odyssey OSTs.
Oh man.
It's okay. You can all pretend to know who Yuzo Koshiro is. Speaking of pretending to know what things are, and also kind of like Catherine, does anyone else here have any excitement for It Takes Two, the new game by Hazelight? The guys who did like Brothers and A Way Out. It's where you play as like the kind of cartoonish couple who's going through a divorce.
I seen something about that.
Never heard anything
I
about
don't
that.
know.
What is the
I
name
don't
of
know
the
how
game?
I'd feel about playing.
Bro,
with,
you
like,
have.
my
You
best
were at the
friend.
Game Awards. You saw them show the trailer there.
Which game?
It's like the couple. They look very like they look almost like kind of like dolls animated. Like it's like representative of like they're going through a
Different.
divorce and stuff. Like it's very very trippy. If you look at a trailer like on mute for it, it'll like catch it up. Like the trailer was very unique looking.
I'll have to sit down and watch it again. Again, like if I don't see that the gameplay or the story is gonna be something that's gonna attract me particularly. Oh, I remember. It's a top-down game, right?
No, it's a 3D action platformer.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, platformer. You already got me there. I don't like platformer.
Someone said couples therapy the game. It's so true. That's
I don't know.
basically what it is.
I don't know. I'll have to watch it again, and I don't think that game is in my radar at all. I actually need to see what game is next on the list here. You got the list there. Oh,
I have all this.
Story of Seasons, Pioneers of the Olive Town.
Basically, another Harvest Moon game.
Yeah,
made by the
another
original
Harvest. Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised
I
you
see
picked
that.
that and not
It Takes
Monster
Two.
Hunter. I feel like Monster Hunter is going to be a really big
Monster
one. in
Hunter
March.
Rise is great. I tried to play the demo / beta thing that they did for the Switch, but my Joy-Con still suffering from the Joy-Con drift, and I couldn't even play 30 minutes of it. I was having that much difficulty. If you guys are interested how bad the Joy-Con drift is, check out my stream. It's an absolute disaster. But the gameplay is
thank you,
good.
Nintendo, for those $80 controllers.
I am super upset. This is my second pair. This is not even my first pair. Like I already went through this one, and they're like expensive controllers. I don't know. They're like hate these Joy-Cons. I really do. I do not understand why they're not doing like third-party Joy-Cons.
Do you need the motion
Many
controls
many
for the game?
reasons.
Do you need the motion controls, or have you thought about buying a pro controller before?
I had a Pro controller. Pro tip: they also break. They are not as durable as a PlayStation or an Xbox controller.
Are you talking about your Switch Pro controller?
Yes, I'm talking about the Switch Pro controller. He also broke.
Mine has lasted forever. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that yours did. I had to replace the Pro
That's a good
controller
tip, man.
and the Joy-Cons. Okay, and I'm not a hard like I don't play games hard. You know, like sure, maybe sometimes, but most of the time I'm
You're
not.
throwing them too much, I think.
I'm not throwing the controllers or anything like that.
Dude,
No, like
are you
I
biting it?
never-
What are you doing with
I
it, bro? Are you
never-
putting it in the shower?
I
Chewing
ne-
on the analogs.
I never had to replace a PlayStation 4 controller. In fact, I still have my original PlayStation 4 controller from
See,
the
I'm the
original
opposite.
classic
I've had
PS4.
like 3 PS4 controllers
Yeah.
at this point.
Your analog stick didn't wear off like the rubber part of it. It
No.
didn't wear off over time.
No, yeah, I haven't had any issues with any of them. They're all great, still good looking. In fact, I had to I opened it one time because one of the left trigger or right trigger got stuck, but I just pop it back again, and that was the only thing that I ever encountered. Now that controller is a little flimsy now. I'll say like you can feel the triggers are like not holding up as well as they used to, but it's still not. It's still working. Like I haven't had any issues with that. Xbox
Kiro.
controller handle well too. I'll say that much. What's up?
Kiro, I just gotta ask you a question right quick. While we're in March, correct? For
Yeah, we're
games
still
right now?
I think we're still in March. Yeah, Monster Hunter.
Do you think Nocturne will come before, like, during March this
No,
year?
100% not March. 100% not March.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I will say April, or
It seems like a great 420 release. Let's see if it lines up on a Tuesday. I'm scrolling down.
Hello, Mayo. Let's go.
April.
Ah,
Oh, dude, it
420.
is 420's on a Tuesday. I'm calling it now. Nocturne releases 420/21. Calling it. Lock it in. Get it in the books.
We blazed some Nocturne and something else that day, bro.
That is
Oh,
like
man.
too funny. I'm looking at the wiki. Does any other game come out on the 20th? They're literally the only game. Do it, please.
So
Please.
our friend David made a good video not too long ago about what he expects from Nocturne. Are the issues going to be fixed by the time it gets to its Western release here? What do you guys think? I just want to know your opinions on that. If the frame rate will be fixed over here, if they're going to have all the DLC in the one package, what do you guys think?
Well, what I think is they are definitely gonna have to do something with the audio because they have to dub over it. Whether this gonna still be compressed or not, I can't tell you that much. Now, most of the issues have already been fixed in the last patch they did in Japanese release. What was it? 1.03? Is that right?
Was the Switch port
I
fixed
think
at
so.
all?
Yeah, all systems got a patch.
Yeah,
in December.
they already patched the game. Like the only issue at this point is the compressed audio in the game.
I
But
could have sworn Niarly said that the Switch still had problems with frame rate issues and stuff after the last patch.
Frame rate with
I mean, the
battles,
Switch,
but
you gotta think
big
about
one,
it.
the big problem was less. Honestly, like as someone who's played all the versions for it, the problem was less. The battles had crappy frame rate because spoilers, it's a turn-based RPG. Like you can be as slow as you want. It just makes you look bad. The menu lag getting removed was the really big performance thing. Of like the fact that it like PS2 menus loaded faster was embarrassing. So that being gone, I'm like, oh cool. I'm glad that's there.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what to say about this, but I don't really buy ports on Switch. I don't understand why people expect good frame rate in Switch games. Just don't.
Bro, it's a PS2
Just
game.
don't. Yeah,
It's a
but
PS2 game, bro.
I don't care. Just don't expect good frame rate on a Switch. Just
Dude,
don't.
it is
Go,
a PS2
go.
game. Dude,
Go
an Android phone can emulate
You
that
buy
shit.
a Switch game, expect dropping frames. It just I don't ever see a Switch game. I'm like, damn, that game has the best frame rate in the Switch.
I love the frame rate of Tokyo Mirage Sessions. It's got a great 30 FPS.
Exactly. This is
I
what you have
can't
to.
tell if you're being sarcastic
No.
or not.
No.
Over there,
No.
Spencer.
It's
Am
both
I gonna have to
sarcastic.
take y'all both on?
If it's both sarcastic and realistic, that's what you have to go into. Is there any game in the Switch that goes above
I guess
30?
it depends who's developing it and how well they know the Switch.
No, but let's be frank here. Is there any game that it goes above 30 FPS in the Switch?
There's tons. What do you mean? Are there any? Yeah, Mario
why?
60 FPS, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition 60
Hyrule
FPS.
Warriors? Does it really?
Bayonetta 2. Hyrule Warriors 2 definitely does not, but that's a bigger game. No, there's tons of games that run 60. Rising, I'm curious. I forget if had you said your prediction / guess for how complete or what state Nocturne releasing, just because I kind of want to go last because I've had some Nocturne information I haven't really said publicly, but I figured we're on the topic. I might as well drop it here.
Drop it, please.
No, I mean, I hope we have all the DLC stuff with it and included. I mean, if we have patches already done, would we not get those day one as well? It only seems to make sense that way. So I think we'll at least get the patches. That'd be nice. I hope they don't. I think China.
If we have to patch a single kilobyte of data when that game comes out in the West, I will be furious. That's stupid.
Yeah,
if the patch has been done since December, they better have that puppy loaded.
Yeah.
spoilers and bad news. Like, if you got some bad news, I'm gonna give you guys some good news. So, bad news. Well, there's actually 2 bits of bad news. First up, no steelbook. No steelbook for anything. No pre-order steelbook.
No collector's edition. Of course not.
Expected that.
No collector's edition whatsoever.
No, number 2, not even no collector's edition. Like, don't expect any physical bonus item. Like, nothing. You're getting the game.
I expect
SMT doesn't have the star power over here. That
reminder. The last
Persona 5 doesn't have any.
Reminder, guys. The last SMT game that released, just straight SMT, was Strange Journey Redux. That all it included was, look, the reverse cover is a poster. If you are an ant who lives in a small 1-bedroom 400-foot apartment. Like, they just, like, I don't know, like, they're just too scared about it. No one in retail is interested. Like, they just I cannot do it for the life of them. But the one bit of positive I do say is I've kind of put this out there, like, trying to will it into existence of, like, hey, if you're not going to do anything physical, if you do this as a pre-order bonus, this will get a lot of people excited. Base game for Nocturne at launch is going to be 40 physical and 30 digital. The reason is it's not going to get a big print run. And why would the price difference be more expensive physical than digital? Obviously, there could be multiple SKUs. And I say this because they're not going to be making 2 different versions of this. They might as well make the more expensive one the only retail option. And what's going to be in the $40 version of Nocturne Remastered is this. It's going to have 5 pieces of DLC. It's going to have the music legacy pack for all the games. So you're going to have the music from SMT 1, 2, 4, and Apocalypse as stuff there, which is like the only cool DLC that came out of Japan. Like, adding songs from other series was like a really, really cool choice. The other one that they're going to add, the 5th DLC, and something that can put a sticker on the box and make the 420 meme come true, is it will be Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne Remaster featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series, and you get it for free as a day 1 pre-order. Let's be real, no one wants to make that a second purchase, so why not just bake that into the day 1 edition?
That'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Well, I'm excited for the game. I'm super hyped for it. I don't know if I mentioned this enough times, but Nocturne is my favorite SMT game. So if there's like one game besides SMT 5 that I'm really hyped for, is this game. Like, I'm like super hyped. I can't wait for that.
By the way, shout out to my boy Riku over there. He says, I agree with King Narukami. Lol, it's a PS2 game. No excuse. Eat shit, Kuro. I love you, though.
Whoa, okay. All right, I see how it is. Look, I just
bro, it is a PS2 game.
I don't care. Switch is just a Switch. Bro. I don't know.
And while we're on the subject,
I got
into a little Twitter discussion earlier.
Did you really?
Switch could totally run Persona 5.
Oh, 100%.
I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, 100%.
Should be able to. Doesn't mean they're gonna.
It doesn't mean that it's gonna run well either.
Yeah.
It can run anything really.
Well, not a 60 FPS, right, Kuro?
Hey, just think about it this way. The Switch can run a lot of games. I mean, if I can run Doom on it, does it run? Yeah, I mean, does it run well? That's the question. Can it run it? Yeah, it can run any games. I know there's a lot of memes out there about the quality and everything. It's probably gonna run okay. Like, let's be honest here. It's not a fast-paced game. You're not gonna be doing a lot of shooting on it or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I particularly like if it comes out yes or no, I don't care. That's the whole thing about Persona 5. I'm much done. Like, if they do like a Persona 5 Royal Switch version, I'm not gonna buy it. I already played the game enough times. I'm like already kind of burned out.
So Kiro, so my point was that you said that I'm not trying to call you out, man.
No, it's fine.
You said that Persona 5 could run on Switch. It was a PS3 game. But here you are saying you wouldn't expect 60 FPS from a PS2 Nocturne
no.
Remaster.
Again, I said that it could run. I didn't say that it could run well. There's a difference.
Okay.
I think we're also comparing like PS4 and like Switch. Like, you should always expect it to be a little worse on Switch.
I just like that you guys consider Persona 5 a PlayStation 4 game. That is a straight up PlayStation 3 game.
It's not a PlayStation 4, it's a PS3 game.
Yeah, Persona 5 was made for the PS3. 100%.
It
All right,
was
so
released on the PS3.
yeah, well, the development for it was a straight up percent. The PlayStation 4 version was just a port.
Wasn't it on PlayStation Plus on PS3 for free or something like that?
No, it
No.
was part of the PlayStation collection. So if you bought a PlayStation 5, you could download
Yeah,
vanilla.
you get it for free.
Which I don't
Vanilla,
understand
yeah.
why they just didn't include
So
Royal
weird.
with that.
Well, Atlas still wants some money, okay?
Just come out the same year the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, Atlas still
You gotta
wants
pay
some
through
money
all
for
of
that
it.
game. The
You
game's
play
still
through all
selling
P5
well.
and realize Royal's a thing.
Yeah, the game's still just selling well, so that they still want some money out of it. So I'm gonna actually bring back to the topic of the 2021 games because we keep going out of it.
Talking about 2021 games?
Yeah, what are we not talking about? Is this not a podcast about Persona 5?
Pokemon
Thought it
Snap.
Pokemon
Kind
Snap.
of actually, once we get out of Pokemon Snap, and I guess if we're being nice, Near
Whoa,
Replicate's
whoa,
going to be
before-
a popular one.
Before
like,
we go Pokemon Snap, let's
No, I
not
want to talk about
jump.
Nier as well.
Let's not jump the gun here. Guilty Gear Strive is coming out on April 9.
I am not excited about Guilty Gear Strive. And saying that as an Arc System fan is weird. Like, it looks great. I can't try. This is a weird one. Arc System games made by Arc only and published by Arc worry me because they are a studio on a budget. They work really, really well, but I think like it just come out like the game's not going to have a story mode. It's just going to have an arcade mode with tiny bits of story. Now that being said, Arc is terrible when it comes to stories, but it would have been nice.
I mean, does anybody play the Arc games for story? Let's just think about that for a minute.
I played Arena for the story, but I do think it is important to say those stories are always 30 plus hours long and could be told in 5.
Dude, Persona 4 Arena story, it literally hit the same plot points every fucking character.
It's meant
went
it's
through.
meant to do it so that you can experience the different viewpoints. It's just executed terribly. I still love it. This is like literally like besides Strikers, Persona Arena is
There's
like
only so many times of Brooklyn Robot that I can take of
Oh,
her summoning
man.
her fucking persona that just it starts getting fucking repetitive.
I don't know. I still love it. I love the story. It's so silly, so cheesy. It's like the Persona cheesy stuff that I love. I don't know. I love that game, but at the same time, like I get where you're coming from. Yeah, 100%. So
Yeah,
no Guilty Gear fans here.
I'd
No?
love to be excited about Strive, but like it's one of those things, especially like something about early into next gen fighting games. It's like you just gotta wait, you know. You like I think after Street Fighter V came out and just really burned everyone's bridges, it was kind of like unless there's certain developers out there who people are just gonna trust like day one. Like if you like Mortal Kombat, if you like Injustice and NetherRealm games, obviously they're gonna have a good story mode. They're gonna have like a lot of options, stuff like that. You don't gotta be worried about. But like think about it like this: someone in the world spent $60 last year to play the One Punch Man fighting game. There were people out there who did that.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts just
The
hearing, dude.
the other thing that you want to consider too as well when we're talking about fighting games is how many times you buy the base copy of the game only to find out that they have the edition with all the DLC characters, all the 10, 15 DLC characters that they're now selling for $5 a piece. When you can buy it for $60 with all these characters, with all these patches, with everything and you basically were a beta tester for the last like 6 months before now they're selling you the game again for $60.
Dude, something absurd I saw on the PlayStation Store this past week. You could buy Dragon Ball Fighters alone for $60 right now.
Yeah.
Or you could buy Dragon Ball Fighters Ultimate Edition, which comes with the Season 1 pass, if I'm correct, for $16.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
what the fuck is wrong?
That's right. It's on sale right now because of it's actually ending today, by the way. Thanks for reminding me.
By the
King.
way, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta coming this year. That's worth talking about for 2021 release.
We're not talking about cross battle, okay? That game is
No,
not.
it ain't cross battle. We talk about fighters.
No, we're not talking about. No. Somebody in the comments just said cross tag battle. LOL. I mean, we're not talking about that game is cursed.
Fighters is much better.
So Pokemon Snap, anyone? Anyone excited for that?
I was kind of joking about it.
I'm
when
not-
I said it earlier.
I'm not.
Looks nice.
it is
I
a
never had
big
a
joke.
feel.
It is a big joke. How much do you think they're going to sell it for?
60.
What do you
60.
mean? How much? It's a Nintendo game.
$60 and it's never gonna go down in
They're
price.
selling it for $60, dude. That's embarrassing. Pokemon Snap, where you just take pictures of Pokemon.
Dude,
No.
it's just Nintendo. It's just Nintendo.
I did not think I would have to like bust out the history lessons. Okay, so like rationally and calmly explain to me how something, if it is doing its job right, if it is a good-looking, competent video game and is fun at taking pictures of Pokemon, what's wrong about paying $60 for that? $60 for Pokemon Snap seems very fair in today's society.
I really hope you're trolling, Spencer.
I'm not. I'm a big component of like when I found out PS5 games and Series X games are going to start being $70. I was like, good. Like, games don't need to be a flat price. We shouldn't just look at games as 60's normal, 40 for budget, 20 for trash. We should look at stuff like Japan. Like, they're selling a lot of games
I disagree.
at $70, $80, $90. Persona.
We don't need to be paying $90 for any game. I'm
Needs to
sorry.
be worth it, or-
I $90 is like no. It's
You could buy Persona 5 the animation for $300.
no $90.
Yeah, it's like judge your product what you think it's worth. Like a great example is like Play Asia made it specifically just for them a version of like 3 Atelier games on Switch. It's like a $90 Switch game. But it's 3 like 50+ hour RPGs. It's like, hey man, like is this like the best game ever? But like no, it's like, hey, you showed your worth. Like a great example is this of like, look at when a Vita game came out at 40. And, like, do you remember in the era where Vita games were coming out the same as PS3 and PS4 ports? Mm-hmm. They are all the same game, but the PS4 version would be 60, PS3 would be 50, and Vita would be 40, even though they were all the same game. It made no sense. Like, on the opposite side of things, what is stopping Persona 4 Golden if we went back in time for being $60?
Yeah.
But would people buy it at 60 right now?
Yes.
People
bought it for 50.
I do want to.
Buy it for 60?
I just want to bring this up because I don't know why Spencer thinks that this is a good idea. There are so many games right now in the West, particularly. The West is criminally. Is a real criminal right here. So many games nowadays come out. You pay $60. The game is not even complete, finished. There's updates. There's literally things that they need to fix. I'm not talking about Cyberpunk. I'm not talking about Cyberpunk. I'm defending Cyberpunk here. Okay, no, I'm not. I used to be defending Cyberpunk until I found out something. I'll bring this up in a second. How many games nowadays come out like this? Broken. There's barely any gameplay to do. You have to wait for more patches. You have to wait for them to, and they still have the gall. They still have the gall to sell you DLC on this bullshit on top of all this other stuff. So many games of this.
No, you're saying what games are coming out like this?
No.
Pilgrim.
I said how many games. I'm just saying like pay. And Spencer wants us to pay $90 for these games.
So on that thing for it, it goes the same way of like, hey, if you're looking at something like, let's look at like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, that game that everyone forgot came out in 2019. Like that was a game that came out super broken, super buggy, had tons of DLC, tons of microtransactions, and people were like, what the hell? This thing has like $60 to $90 worth of options.
Anyway, so yeah, I just don't feel.
Everything, but no, like my point for it is this: it's like games should be flexible with how much they feel like they're worth.
Oh yeah,
the problem is the problem is to that
is like games can charge as much or as little as they want, because let's look at it like this. You talk about those games like that, Kuro. Mm-hmm. We'll even round this back into Atlas. All of the Persona 3 and 5 dancing games, no matter what they released on, every country, those games were absolutely panned for their price because they clearly saw this is a single game that was split up into 2 for $60 each. So people were like, I'm not going to buy this. Let's wait till it's on sale.
Yeah,
and that's why you always see tons of copies of Dancing on sale, even though there's probably not a bunch of copies out there, but that game killed its own worth by selling for it too much.
The problem with what you're saying is this, is how much they are thinking the game is worth. That's not how it works. the consumer needs to be able to choose how much this game is worth, not the publisher. The publisher is shouldn't.
And the customer's only going to wait till everything's on sale, and no one's going to make any money at launch.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where the 60 flat rate price works. Because if that's the case, if you're gonna be let's think about it this way. You're waiting 10 years for this game. The game comes out, it's incomplete, it has things, you paid $60 or $70 or $80 if you bought the collector's edition or the whatever edition. Then the game comes out again, patched up, but they're selling it again for $60. Then they have this DLC that you have to buy to find out the rest of the story. This is Final Fantasy 15, by the way. And then again, and then they have the gall to sell you all these other DLC packets, and then they cancel the DLC because the director quit. And did they offer refunds? No, they did not. You still paid.
Whoa! They never ever sold a second season pass. They only sold episode art, and there was no season pass 2. I should know. I bought everything. Final Fantasy.
The season, this all season pass, and then they canceled. They canceled it.
They didn't. Look it up right now. I will guarantee season pass 2 never went on sale. They only ever sold.
But they announced.
1.
They announced it, right?
The multiplayer episode Arden and the Royal update pack. They never did a second season pass for sale.
I know
they announced a second season pass, but they never ever put it up.
Okay, I recalled otherwise, but I'll go with your words because
But like going into your thing, you can say the absolute opposite about price. Like look at something like as the opposite of here's a game that is totally worth its price, but because of the market deeming $60 is too much for some games, it got burned on it. I don't know if Riku is still in the chat, but like look at Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Came out, 3 games, all remastered. Everyone loved it. $40. Oh my god, sold millions of copies. A sequel to it, Crash 4, reviewed great. Everyone says it's awesome, but it's $60, and it's only 1 game. So wait, am I paying more for less content? No, not really. It's like a brand new game. Like those devs probably are like, hey, we busted our ass making a brand new Crash Bandicoot game not suck. That game is probably worth $60, but then people looked at it similar to something like Pokemon Snap and are like, why the fuck would I pay $60 to take pictures of Pokemon for like I could do that for free in Pokemon Go? Like the inverse of it is it can hurt the developers more than people think of by waiting for sales.
Yeah, but at the same time that's their fault. They could have easily priced the game at 60. That's their deal. That's what they chose to do. Nobody told them that the game needed to be $40. That's why
Snap is like a total like they're not even trying with this game anymore.
Oh, I'm not talking about Pokemon. I'm done with Pokemon. The last Pokemon game that I purposely bought was Go, and that was because I wanted to check that out on Switch. I just was excited checking it out. I reluctantly bought Sword for the channel because the people requested me to stream that game. By the way, I fucking hated it, so I'm not buying any more Pokemon property games. But the deal is being, if you let these companies be lazy and continuously release these kind of games, I don't care whether they're willing to charge $60 or $70 or $80. Market should decide what the game is worth, not the companies. And that's the whole thing about it is Pokemon is going to continue to Nintendo is going to continue to release these games until people stop buying them. And $60 Snap game is going to happen. People are going to buy that game.
Let me ask y'all a question. I went to my local game store the other day, and they had a copy of original Revelations Persona and Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. You can get both of them together for $700. What do you think?
I mean, that game was out of print decades ago.
Right.
That's a difference.
But for a single game, dude,
there's a difference. There's a difference between that and a new release game. This is a game that has been out of print for decades.
I mean, it's like getting an in-box Pokemon like Red. Like that's gonna be worth a lot of money too.
Let's talk about this then, just to make the situation even harder. Get out of the box and brick and mortar stuff. Let's say the next time a digital game goes on sale, when you see an indie game getting announced or is coming out soon, what is your go-to? Oh, that seems like a fair price. Like we were talking about for Scott Pilgrim at the beginning of the show. The original version of that game 10 years ago was $10. Now it's $15. Yes, it has the DLC, so you can kind of say, oh, it kind of pans out for it that way. But like when you guys see digital games, that can range in so many different ways. Like when you look at something like Spelunky or Hades being 20, and then you look at something like a Bug Snacks, you're like, wait, why is Bug Snacks twice as much as Hades when Hades is like one of like people's favorite games of the whole year? Like, what is your guys' thoughts about
don't be shitting on
I
Bug
think
Snacks.
that was because
Let
it
me
was
share
the
those
first thing
Bug
on the
Snacks.
console. I think they thought they could get away with it. I'm not gonna lie. I think they sometimes do that.
At the end of the day, I still have this thought. You, the person, the developer, the publisher, you decided your price. You decide your worth at this point. If you want to charge $60 for Hades, you just gotta think about how many people are gonna buy this indie game, how many people are gonna not buy this indie game. Sony did the right thing and gave the PlayStation 5 away for free for Bugsnax because they knew the game wasn't gonna sell as good. They just knew, and it's fine.
So
I mean, Among Us was $10, and they're doing all right.
Yeah, it's sometimes like you gotta think about it. Indie games are never gonna sell. You gotta go lower. You gotta know people are not gonna buy your game if you're going $60. Like, I don't know, just think about it. That
Among Us made a lot of money. They're making profit off of. I mean, it was free on phone for Christ's sakes, but it's $10 on Steam. Or I don't know what it is anymore. But I bought it
$5 on Switch.
Oh, really? Oh, well, they're still making money. They're doing all right. It's like 4 people splitting millions of dollars between each other. It's like they're okay.
Alrighty, so I think we're just going on a tangent here, but old games, never think of old games this way. If there's a sealed copy of a game and it's a game that is out of print, you gotta think about it. It's a rarity thing now. The game is no longer being sold in stores, even if a store has a copy of it. They're not making more copies of that game. You can't compare that to a brand new game that just came out this year. So I see a lot of people talking about like Apocalypse for $80 or Soul Hackers for £120. That makes sense. It's a game that is no longer out there. Like, you can only buy it digitally. If you want a physical copy, you just have to go through that. That's how it happens.
I'm not paying $350 for.
I'm not saying that you have to. I'm not saying that you have to, but you gotta think about it this way: the game is no longer out on print. You're never gonna be able to go and buy a copy at Walmart for that game.
Weird hypothetical that is actually kind of realistic. Let's say the next big milestone comes out for Final Fantasy. Now, taking bias aside, I'm just doing this because it's a long-running series. Let's say Square Enix is releasing a Final Fantasy collection on Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox. Same as PC. It is with enhancements and features, not a remaster, not a remake. It is just the original games with a few quality of life changes and achievements on all of them. Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, 12, 13, 13, 2, 13, 3, and 15, and they were like, hey, it's in a $200 set. That is the standard edition.
Before you continue this here, I just want to know where smoking, and I want to smoke some of that.
I'm serious. Like, if they had
going coming early, baby,
they've done it before.
They have a game collection with all of them.
No, they don't have that collection.
That before with the PlayStation, like I think for whatever when 13 was either out or about to come out in Japan, they did that of like they re-released every game in one set, like they reprinted disc for everyone again.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen that. I mean, personally, if it's that many games, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's worth.
Depends on what you get out of it.
Yeah, that's worth it. But at the same time, what he's saying, his point is that will devalue the game of devalue the original games. Is that what you're trying to say, Spencer?
No, not even that. Oh my god! If anything, I find it opposite. Like we were talking about Attack on Titan being a bunch of money. Still, it's like when one game gets expensive nowadays, I feel like it makes everything in that series expensive, even when it makes like no sense. It's like people look at something like Shantae and like, oh my god, Shantae is such a rare game series. It's like, no, Shantae has like 2 games that are rare. One from Limited Run, which was an early Switch title, and one was a Game Boy game that was one of the last Game Boy Color games ever released. Like, they're very, very small edge cases. There are tons of other Shantae games out there. You guys just don't really care about them because no one cared about the 3DS version.
Right on. So, anything else that you guys have to say before we continue talking about the games coming out this year?
Suggestion for the format, because after April, as you guys kind of noticed, the dates get a lot kind of loosey-goosey in terms of, hey, stuff's announced, but like not a lot is like super confirmed, and I know we kind of want to try and keep it to 2 hours or so. I was
We're
saying
we're at 2 hours already.
I know. That's why like
It's not a work day though.
That's why we try to be at the 2 hours. So like my thing is this: after, if you guys have anything else you want to say, like maybe about like Nier or whatever, like kind of cutting it off after April and then picking one game that we either think is coming out, whether you're smoking meth and think SMT 5 is coming out this year, or you something.
Suck it, David.
Man. No.
Like honestly, like we could be here all day talking about like big or small stuff, like in other things. But I think it might be fun of like let's like pick like our one big thing we're like excited about personally. Because I've got a couple things.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I have a couple things here. So, is there any games that you know in 2021 releasing? Besides, I don't want to go through the whole list if you guys don't know any other games from 2021.
Well, there's like one thing I've been eyeballing. Have you guys been seeing I'm sure you have the trailers and stuff for Deathloop?
Yeah, that was literally one of the games that I was thinking about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. We need more first-person shooters that aren't just Team 1 versus Team 2 and there's some conflict with the campaign. Like, this is actually something unique.
Yeah, I love the gameplay too because it's made by the same people that made Dishonored, and you see a lot of that Dishonored gameplay on it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Like
Back for Blood. I've seen some.
Yeah, that looks good too. Yeah, that also looks pretty cool. Tokyo was a Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that looks so
okay,
good.
so I'm a huge fan of the horror, but I'm also a huge fan of like the BioShock games. And this is, to me, that looks like a BioShock meets like Japan style gameplay, and everything just looks so cool. The more I see it, I'm like, I know people were disappointed because of the gameplay. I'm like the opposite. The moment I saw the gameplay, I was like, holy shit, this game was made for me. I'm like 100% excited for it. Any ideas? Do you guys see any about the game?
I love Tango, but I will say Ghostwire. I feel a stink in the air with that game, and I only say that just because the gameplay definitely is different than what they're used to. First person, I think, scares a lot of people away in that kind of genre, but obviously stuff like Resident Evil 7 has shown that it can be done very well. The big one for me is that we never found out, even still, why Nakamura, the director, left. Like, she was such like they
was super hyped for it. Yeah,
they showed off her before the game. Like, that's like it was a big deal. Mikami came out and said, "Hey, I'm showing you guys basically my protege's next game. This is our studio's big game. Check it out, enjoy it." And then the fact that like she left so suddenly and the game is still on track to come out so soon, I feel like something with the creative vision of that game might be compromised. I hope I'm wrong. I love that game. I mean, I love Evil Within. I love Tango Gameworks. I want to be wrong. I want to love that game.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's definitely something on my radar here. Another game that I have, and I'm sure some people already know, but Resident Evil 8 is definitely coming out this year. There's gonna be an event in like 2 weeks from now, or like actually this week, on the 21st.
This week, dude.
Yeah,
so
this week.
Excited.
I am super hyped for it.
Big titty vampire mama. I'm ready.
Dude, I'm super hyped for it.
Memes on
You guys didn't see that? You guys didn't? King, you didn't see the trailer?
I did not. No, I'm not a big.
Dude.
I'm a pussy when it comes to Resident and horror games. So
okay.
I'm dropping some stuff in the chat that'll help you, King. Don't worry about it.
I know he's gonna do it.
Oh man, I am super.
You got me feeling some kind of way right now,
dude. That picture of like the character, it looks like a cosplay. It looks fake, but it's.
I bring her back to life.
Yeah, dude, it looks really good. I'm super hyped for it. I actually applied to co-stream that game. I'm hopefully I get a reply from Capcom soon because I'm like, please Capcom, give me some. So I'm excited for that. It's definitely in my radar here.
I will pay $80 for it at launch. That's how confident I am in that game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Resident Evil 7 like sold me back into the series because 6 kind of like let me down pretty hard. So when 7 was announced, I was like, man, I'm liking how this is going, and I loved 7. I played it on VR, the entire thing. I was like shitting my pants in like the first hour or two of the game. It was super super scary. The first 2 hours, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm playing this game," and it's so good. I'm excited for 8. I'm wondering if they're gonna offer VR support. Probably not, but
No, not at launch. I mean, that game's still there, but yeah, dude, I can't. I couldn't be more excited about it. Resident Evil 8 is like, it's funny because I just don't talk about like some of those other series for it and stuff like that. Like, it's just like it's a guaranteed success. Like from a moment of it being announced, there's not like a moment of doubt. Like it's the opposite of Guilty Gear for me. Like like Guilty Gear's like, oh, I could be into it, but I don't know. There's a couple of undying factors. Like the Resident Evil team is literally the Babe Ruths in their career right now. Of like they're hitting 10s, they're hitting slammies, they're hitting grand slams, they're slamming it up at Denny's at 2 a.m. They can't be stopped. Like the Resident Evil team is just killing it.
They're doing horror games.
oh man!
Right,
Not only that, the RE engine that they are using, Capcom that is using in general, is just so good looking. It's gotta be one of the best looking engines right now. It just looks so good. Have you guys seen anything else with them? They did another game recently besides Devil May Cry.
Resident Evil 5 is on the RE engine.
Yeah, and Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 5 is. There's another game that they did on that engine. I'm trying to remember.
It's also the one they used to power. I'm dumb. We just talked about Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's what I was thinking about. So far they have Resident Evil 7, Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil Resistance, Village, Pragmata. That's the one I was thinking about. It's like a space-looking game, science fiction. It's supposed to announce release next year.
It just got pushed back again. It's now 2023. It was going to be 2022. And
I'm so disappointed about it, but it looks great. I am excited for a Dead Space looking kind of game. That's what I'm hoping.
That'll be fun.
Rising, I gotta ask, what is your like weird like 2021 game that you're looking forward to? That's not like an Atlas thing.
The biggest thing, I don't even know if this is going to happen. It might get pushed again. I'm looking for Elden Ring, hopefully, from
FromSoftware.
Yeah.
Yes!
I'm looking for, baby.
Ooh, man,
I am
after
super
Demon
hyped
Souls,
for this.
I'm ready for next gen From. Like, I want to see full on George R. Martin dicks in my face PS5 gameplay. Let's go, baby.
They might be going something different with this. It's not a Dark Souls game. It's something different, right? Like, what could they possibly be doing?
From is like, you can't go wrong. It's like, when they go different, like, for me at least, like, when, like, From is so great, because, like, people say, I love Dark Souls. People say, I love Bloodborne. But so many of the fandoms are like, we just love From.
Exactly.
Like, the reasons I love Demon Souls is different than Dark Souls. The reasons I love Bloodborne is different than Sekiro. Like, that studio just, like, they have a formula, and what's great about it is, like, it's not like, oh, we're doing Dark Souls, but Samurai. It's like, it's always different.
It's different. It's super different. If you play Sekiro plays nothing like Dark Souls. Bloodborne plays nothing like Dark Souls. They still call them Soulsborne games, but, like, each of them plays significantly different from each other.
They're still just as good too. Like,
yeah,
it amazes me.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, I'm gonna hate this game. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of getting into it. It kind of works.
Have you played Sekiro?
Yeah, I have. I've gotten stuck.
I love Sekiro. Where do you get stuck? If you don't mind me asking.
The dude on the horse with the giant, like, I don't know if it's like a pike in his hand or something like that. I can't get past it, but I've only tried like twice though.
Really? Yeah. Keep at it. Honestly, deflecting in that game is the only thing you need to do.
It's so fun though. Like,
yeah, it's really fun. It's so clean. The action is just so clean, so beautiful. I love it so much.
The takedowns are good too.
Yeah, it feels really epic. I love that game so much. It's like one of my favorite games of what was it last year? 2019? Was that right?
2019? Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. King, what about you? What's your 2021 game? Not SMT5 apparently.
Oh, that ain't even coming out this year, so we ain't got a problem.
We're not worried about that.
I do have some like games I'm looking forward to. I have some predictions, some wild predictions about this year. I am really looking forward to the Mass Effect remaster trilogy that they're putting out because I've never played those games.
Oh,
so I'm really
right on. You're gonna have a lot of fun. I love the second game. That's my favorite game. I have some thoughts about the third game. But the first two are fantastic.
I think that we are going to get a BioShock announcement this year. I think this is just the time to get an announcement for a next BioShock
Well,
game.
there's been talk
I
about
think,
the next Bioshock for some time. There's been a lot of trouble development with that game, but I'm excited for that.
I'm
I
so
don't
curious
know
what
if
they could do. They tried like close the story pretty hard with the DLC for the last one.
I loved Infinite though. A lot of people like it.
I loved it.
but I loved it.
Infinite was great.
It's so good. The DLC for that's even better. I love the DLC in that. It's so
And
fun.
and I might get some shit for this. I really think that we're going to see a Persona 6 teaser this year.
Yeah, probably. Knowing how Atlas operates, they're gonna announce this game and it's not gonna be announced again for another 3 or 4 years.
We'll see another teaser in 3 years, and then we'll wait a year after that.
We're gonna see some. We're gonna see some tables, or maybe some doors.
You know, this is the 25th anniversary of Persona and everything this year, but when are we going to actually hear news about what's coming? Because, 2020 came and went. We knew that 2021 was going to be the 25th year of Persona, but it's like right now I'm just sitting waiting, wondering when are we going to get these announcements about, these projects and all these ports and everything.
All right. Well, I'm excited for some tables or some. I don't know. What do you guys think we're gonna get? Some tables, some phones, or some.
I was holding off last because I knew no one else besides me would be excited. But I have to give a reminder for my sleeper RPG. Honestly, current most anticipated game that not anyone besides me talks about, and it's been delayed. I think this is its 3rd year since it was originally announced as coming out. I am stupidly excited for Digimon Survive, just because I love Digimon and I love that it's going for a tactical RPG thing. I think that's a really interesting thing. The art style looks crazy, and my biggest hope is that they're delaying it so that it's also going to launch on next gen, just because Bandai Namco is really, really good about supporting current platforms. And also, it's just say what you will about Digimon, whether you like it or not. Comparing it to Pokemon, one of the things I've always really respected about Digimon is they never play it safe with the property, whether it be with the media or the games. They all take risks. They're all interesting. They're not just, here's Pokemon 2, again, remastered in HD or this time. It's you look at something like a Cyber Sleuth. Pokemon would never have a Cyber Sleuth in their entire history. They could never have the guts to do a game like that.
Okay.
I heard them talking about a Diamond and Pearl remaster.
Exactly.
Right,
if that's the dream of the franchise, is to keep remastering their old games in the style of the new ones, it's even the fans have given up on trying to get anything new. And
it's so predictable too.
I mentioned I love Dynasty Warriors games. They are all the same thing as 2 when it comes down to it. But at least those they make small advancements in it, whereas Pokemon, and they try and make baby steps forward, even those baby steps feel like they're too small. Looking at stuff
Ruby.
No, not even that. It's look at this stuff, the open world aspects of Sword and Shield were barely in the main game. Only in the DLC were they the entirety of the map.
Yeah, so many people were excited for that too, an open world thing, and it's this is the hype. This is gonna be the game. It's nope.
Put this into perspective. If Pokemon Sword and Shield released, there was a lot of hype for it, of just hey, it's a Pokemon thing, it's the first real new one of this generation. Compare that a year later, when the Pokemon DLC came out for Sword and Shield, nobody talked about it. Nobody covered those DLCs, because it was just more of the same, and no one liked what that was.
I made a video about it.
I didn't talk about it at all.
I will say this, DLC 1 did get coverage, but I think once people were disappointed by DLC 1, DLC 2 got super swept under the bus.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't know. I'm not hyped for anything Pokemon anymore. It's just so hard for me to get hyped for Pokemon stuff nowadays. It's no.
That's why you need to just jump on the Digimon train, play Cyber Sleuth with us, and be part of the cool kids club.
Better yet, get Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist on Switch.
No, that's
oh man.
No place for
that. No. Well, you want to fight right now, bro?
Sell me on the Digimon game, Spencer. You always do a good job of selling me on games.
Oh, dude.
Persona meets Pokemon.
I'll type it in later. I'm gonna keep that.
Persona meets Pokemon. That's what it is.
Story Cyber Sleuth is the easiest thing ever to sell. It is a modern, futuristic RPG, like take the aesthetics of SMT Soul Hackers with the art of Devil Survivor and put it into a collectathon turn-based battle. Like that's it. It's gorgeous. The music's amazing. Story's great. You got 2 of them. Have fun.
I'll have to check it out.
It's cool. I'm excited for that. I'm gonna check it out too, Spencer. I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna give him a try. I gave Cyber's Loot a try. I just didn't have time to play much of it, but I am gonna play the games. They look good. They play good too.
Those copies are getting rare, man. Not on Switch. The Switch copies you can still get for like $30. The PS4 copies are getting hard to find.
Or you could play a children's card game and Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist on Switch.
Nah, that ain't it.
Like, nah.
It's it, bro. You get the story of Yu-Gi-Oh! Not voice acted.
I'm a real man, and a real man likes to play his card games with like. I like to feel. I like to listen. Do you hear this? That's paper on hand. That's how you play card games.
Bro, my Blue Eyes White Dragon will destroy any of your Digimon people.
Yeah, but your Blue Eyes is a JPEG. It's about as collectible as a Spirit in Smash Brothers. It's not cool to collect digital trading cards.
Bruh.
I'm sorry.
I have no rebuttal for that.
As a Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh addict for years, I have to agree with Spencer. It's just better to have collectible, like the physical cards.
No, here. This is all you got to say why digital card collecting is dumb compared to the physical one. No one has ever opened up a holographic card in Yu-Gi-Oh and been like, "Yep, that looks cooler than the real one."
I'm still hoping for a Yu-Gi-Oh VR game.
Just to end my statement, because I know we need to start wrapping up. This is the ultimate way to sell why digital Yu-Gi-Oh will never be cooler than physical Yu-Gi-Oh. And I'm not digging on it because it's Yu-Gi-Oh! I have tons of Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. I live my life by the duelist way. I have songs to duel by engraved into my heart. No joke. Imagine the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! And instead of ripping up the instead of ripping up the Blue Eyes, imagine if Seto Kaiba did this. Hand me your grandpa's iPad, Yugi. I just deleted his game file. He can't restore his Blue Eyes anymore.
That sounds like a plot line for Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge.
It sounds like a modern anime right now.
But then at the end hour, he's like, "You forgot my grandpa's greatest strength, Kaiba. 2-factor authorization, restore purchase. No!
Backup flash drive. Got him.
2-factor authorization. It's impossible. No one's ever been able to summon that.
You were unable to guess my grandpa's password was cheese 1954.
I activate my trap card. Google Authenticator.
Girl, I'm so sorry you invited me on.
Dude, I'm having so much fun right now. I'm actually eating my dinner too. I don't care. I'm having a lot of fun. At this point, I got nothing else to talk about other than... Is there any other games to talk about?
I will say this.
There's one game I'm purposely avoiding. I'm just asking you guys, but continue.
Rising. I'll say this. Kenna does look fantastic. I'm only just nervous because that studio hasn't put out a game in forever. But Kenna looks great.
It looks really good.
They
but
declined.
like you're kind of saying, like gameplay. Who knows?
I got in contact with the publisher, the publisher, the developers, and I asked them if I could get a copy. They kindly declined.
Pearl, I've never asked you this, and because we live in such a racially divided time, I feel like I have to ask this for my next game, and I promise it'll make sense. What is your national ethnicity?
Hispanic.
What are your hype levels for Far Cry 6? Because as a lover of Giancarlo Esposito, that almost sells me on the game alone. But I loved Far Cry for a while. I loved 2 and 3. 4 bored me to death with Troy Baker, and I never played 5. I'm not gonna lie, the locale and the villain, I'm really selling myself on Far Cry 6.
Man, I wish I was a fan of the Far Cry games. I played several of them. I just can't get into the gameplay loop. It's not for me.
He's such a good bad guy. Like, I could see the story going
Breaking
well.
Bad, man. Oh my god.
I like that Giancarlo is so popular though. Like now, it's not just Breaking Bad. Like if you're a fan of him, it could be because of like The Boys or like Mandalorian or stuff like that. Like I at least appreciate he's got a very spread out thing, and he's not just I'm the chicken dude from Breaking Bad. Like even now, like I probably have more positive memories with Giancarlo in Better Call Saul than Breaking Bad.
Show.
Breaking Bad? Or which one?
Also, we haven't talked about this, but I can't believe it is kind of funny. Like, no, I'm surprised no one picked this one. Horizon Forbidden West just looks stupidly pretty. That game looks so gorgeous.
And I was going to mention another PlayStation exclusive game, God of War Ragnarok. It's not releasing in 2021.
Of course not. No, not at all.
Yeah, no.
Don't wait for that.
I think there's an asterisk. If it's a smaller game like a Miles Morales, I could see it coming out.
Yeah, but I don't. That will make a lot of PlayStation fanboys.
Game, man. That's Sony Santa Monica.
Yeah.
They always go big.
Yeah, that and the PlayStation fanboys will just boycott Sony.
I don't know. Like, no one really lambasted Miles Morales. Like, Miles Morales is a shorter game, but Miles Morales still takes like 20 hours to do everything.
Yeah, but Miles Morales, that was also an expectation when you went in. They told you from the get-go that this wasn't like a full like sequel.
Yeah, I agree.
Ragnarok, on the other hand, they're hyping it up to be the sequel to God of War 2018, and God of War is one of my favorite franchises of all
Have
time.
they said that though?
But
it's supposed to be like a direct sequel. It's gonna
It is. Yeah.
They haven't said anything, but the way that they revealed it at the end of that one PlayStation show, whatever it is, come on, you can't say that's not a direct sequel.
Hilariously, we actually don't even know if it's called God of War Ragnarok. The logo just said God of War, and then
Ragnarok is coming.
You're right. So I have one more game
for it.
Oh man, I completely now don't remember the name that I was going to talk about. Fuck. Shit. I'm trying to remember. Give me 1 second.
Halo
yes.
Infinite.
No.
I don't play Xbox, but
I don't play Xbox, but it's gonna be nice to play for free on the Xbox library. What is it called again? Xbox Cloud.
Game Pass.
Game Pass, yeah.
Game Pass. Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Xbox Cloud. I've been playing a bunch of games on my phone lately. When I'm on lunch or whatever. Sometimes I'm like, man, I really want to play, but I don't really feel like putting my computer or anything like that. I just plug in my controller and play. It's great. Like I tried to play Luna, the Amazon streaming service, and I played what is the other one? The Google one. What is it called?
Oh, Stadia.
Out of all the three of them, the Xbox one it just goes better. That and the fact that it has so many games available, because when you get Xbox Cloud, you also get the Xbox what was it called again? Game Pass.
It comes with streaming of all the games too.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like that's such a bang for your buck. Like you get so much stuff to play. I've been playing the Yakuza game. Zero.
I was about to ask, what are your thoughts on Zero so far? I haven't really heard you talk about it since you.
Honestly, I wanted to stream it. I really wanted to stream this game because I enjoy the game. The game's good. I just hate the gameplay. I am sorry. Like I'm not. I can't. Like 7.
You are coming from Like a Dragon though.
Yeah, I am. So. But I never. That's one of the reasons why I never played Yakuza in the first place. The gameplay never attracted me. So whenever I'm playing it, I'm like, I cannot, man. Like
I see what you're saying to an extent, because Like a Dragon's gameplay was so like in depth, turn-based, and it's just a total 180 from what they've done before. But I fell in love with Yakuza 0 and that gameplay. It's just a coincidence that I started playing turn-based RPGs around the same time that they said that Yakuza 7 is going to be turn-based. So
yeah, I'm sorry. Like the gameplay is just not for me. 100%. Like, and don't get me wrong. I'm not even that late. I'm sorry. I'm not even that early anymore. I'm maybe like 10 hours in. So like, I at this point, I learned a bunch of combos and a bunch of stuff. It's still not for me. Like I'm only playing it for the story. But to be honest, it's not my kind of game. I'm sorry. Like I know.
I have 3 guesses for the games you were trying to think of that you're excited for.
Go for it.
So tell me if I'm correct in any of these. Neo, The World Ends With You.
Yes, that's one of them. You're correct.
No more Heroes 3.
No,
Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart.
no. It was
Okay, wow.
I forgot about that.
yeah, I forgot about those games too. But no, I was thinking of Neo. I'm excited for it because I literally just played The World Ends With You for the first time. I'm actually writing my my review for it because I never played it before. By the way, the Switch version of that game, absolute ass.
No doubt about that.
Like,
One of the first conversations I had with you was you telling me about how much you thought that was ass. I thought it was hilarious.
no, it's like it's even worse. The more you go and play the game, the more I hate it. The more I played it, I was like, oh my god, why is this so bad? And the game is good. The story is great. The gameplay on the Switch is just absolutely incredibly bad. I don't understand what went wrong in the process of kind of like coming up with the game or something. The game just does not translate well. The way that they did it, it's not. Especially when you play with the Joy-Cons. Oh my god. Playing in handheld mode is one thing. Playing it in the Joy-Cons is absolutely terrible. Never, ever in my life have I played a game so bad. I don't know. But yes, I'm excited for the next one. Yeah. What about you guys? Any other games?
Good.
I'm excited for The World Ends With You anime.
Oh yeah, that is exciting. Yeah. I don't know. The older I become, getting excited for anime is like almost like a little hard for me. Not because I don't like anime. I still love anime. I watch it all the time. But I don't do the thing what I used to do, where I watch episodes every weekend or every week when a new one comes out. Now, like, it comes out on okay, let me just wait for the whole thing to come out so I can binge watch it in one day.
No, I get what you're saying. I'd rather binge. I don't watch a lot of TV as it is. I'd rather binge watch stuff all at once. I'd rather watch a series that's completely done. Watch it week.
Exactly.
Week.
Like,
you guys heard about what happened with Sony?
What happened?
They bought out Crunchyroll. Yeah, they own Funimation.
Oh well, I mean,
that's garbage.
It's less that they bought them out. It was literally the previous owner of Crunchyroll was Warner Brothers, who's owned by AT&T. When AT&T was bought by, when Warner Brothers bought AT&T, they inherited millions of dollars of debt. And so, like, they were just like, okay, well, let's look at what we have that is value that's costing us money. All of those anime licenses were costing them tons of money. Like, Crunchyroll had no idea how to make money. They were like, do we do Verve? Do we do Crunchyroll on its own? Do we do it on Hulu? Do we do it on HBO Max? We're like, where do we put these shows we own? So, like, I think putting it all together under Sony, like, sure, it might look a little monopolistic, but at the same time, it's like streaming anime is still a really niche market for stuff like that. With like, there's still Viz is still independent to my knowledge. So Funimation and Crunchyroll being on one banner, it's like it's fine. It's like anime sales are such
right
a
with
weird
that.
thing. It's
but
like,
it gets
I don't
me
like
worried.
being a part of it.
I want it all because
the whole thing. Sorry, go ahead, Raisin. I'll say
sorry.
something after you finish here.
Well, it's like a lot of times, and I think certain animes had like one season here and one season there on different platforms.
Yeah.
It's nice to at least see some, and I know they're trying to. I think Sony also owns Aniplex, I think, as well. They're trying to. I think Sony's going to try and start having their own original series as well to compete with Netflix. So I think that's their biggest contender, I assume, because we have Hulu as well, and there's not any anime in Disney Plus, right? So I think that's what they're trying to do. But it was $1.2 billion. That's how much it was. That cost more than what it cost for Amazon to buy Twitch. So, dude, the anime out there is expensive, dude.
Yeah, the bigger thing is you gotta think about with anime, which is different from Netflix in general, is that the licensing for every single anime, not only do you have to pay the licensing here in the United States or wherever country, you also have to pay royalties to the Japanese company that owns this anime, and it's just like it's a slippery slope. It's really different from Netflix business model and everything. So I don't honestly I don't even know how Crunchyroll has stayed afloat, opposed to like Netflix or anything like that. But it's gonna be hard keeping up all this. Because think about it like this: Netflix rolls out the licenses, right? So they have The Office for 3 or 4 years. Now The Office is not in Netflix. Now this other show is not in Netflix, and they just keep rolling them out, right? Crunchyroll can't do that. You can't have season of Naruto and then Naruto's gone because the licensing is too expensive to keep Naruto afloat in Crunchyroll. There's a difference between a business model for Crunchyroll than any of the anime streaming services. This is a completely different thing here.
Yeah, well, I think Sony also owns a lot of the licenses for them anyway, because they own certain anime production companies. I'm pretty sure that they fund them themselves.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, it's what Netflix has been doing now. They just go on, hey, can we own the licensing for this particular anime? You see all this new anime coming out all the time. There's Netflix original, whatever.
Kuroko's Basketball. They just released a dub for that on Netflix. It's really good.
Really?
One hasn't seen that yet.
I've already read the manga. I don't know. That's the whole thing. Is now I just read the manga and I'm like, is the anime worth watching after reading the manga? 90% of the time, no. It just really depends.
See, I'm more of an anime watcher. I read too much at work, so I really don't want to read much after work. I'd just rather watch an anime than read a manga now. But
right on.
I'm an anime watcher too.
Yeah.
I mean, I read so many books in college. I finally just stopped reading books. So I'm like, all right, I'll take a rest from that.
I read a lot.
I will read subs on the anime though.
I'm
watching Demon Slayer.
But not reading. I just finished this 52 volume series that I was reading. It's a book series and it's 52 volumes. And I just finished it and I was like, yes, it's great. The ending sucked, but I stuck through 52 volumes of this shit. So yeah, I read a lot, and this is just a regular book, not a manga or anything like that.
Do you collect them physically too, or
yeah.
is it just
well, it depends. There is a lot of novels that I read that are either Chinese or Korean, and they get translated really slowly legally. But what they do now is think of the Netflix model, but for books. There's a lot of these companies that I think one of them is like Web Novel. I think that's what it's called, and it's legal. Like they pay royalties to the Chinese and Korean and Japanese, all these Asian countries, and they pay them, and you pay basically a fee, and you can read them online there on their website or wherever. So a lot of the times I'll read a lot of these books. I want to collect them physically, but it's just impossible.
Yeah, I also feel like with manga too, it's not usually a super short series, but you're gonna have to have a lot of space.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have full series mangas. I have Chobits. You guys know that? It might be too old school for some of you guys.
I don't think so. The only manga I have is I think Dragon Ball.
I am very aware of Chobits.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love the company Clamp who made Chobits. It's just everything that Clamp makes is really beautiful looking. They made Sakura, Cardcaptor Sakura, and XX Holic. I don't know if you guys may not know any of these. They're like,
hey man, I know anime.
Yeah, I know you know anime. I'm just saying everybody else that is. You're not the only person that I'm talking to.
How do you do, fellow kids? Let me tell you about this little show called Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh my god! By the way,
great opening song.
Did you guys hear that this is getting a live action?
Let's not do that.
Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is getting a Japanese asterisk, a Japanese live action. By the way,
okay. I thought you meant a Netflix live action.
It's I'm pretty sure it's a Netflix Japanese. Yeah, I mean they did Full Metal Alchemist and it wasn't good, and they did a Bleach one and it wasn't good either. And these are Japanese. These are Japanese movies, not or TV shows. I guess one of them was a TV show.
They don't have the same production.
Let's get a Yu-Gi-Oh live action movie.
Oh my god! No, let's not do that.
I'm here for it, bro.
Let's not do that at all. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'm now. You're gonna be curious. What are they gonna do with Yugi's hair? I need to know that now.
That's gonna be insane.
Oh man, but
I really want this. I kind of want this now, just to see. If you thought the Dragon Ball Evolution movie was bad, wait until you see the Yu-Gi-Oh live action.
There's nothing that is ever gonna be the disappointment that I had about the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action movie. Nothing, not even the Dragon Ball, because as soon as they
That
announced,
never happened, Kiro. That never
The
happened.
bad thing is, M. Night Shyamalan's a great director, but like
that's
he flopped
the
so hard.
thing. I don't understand what the vision was there, because it's almost like there's no vision into it. I'm like, you do know there's a TV show that aired for 3 seasons or 4 seasons. What is it? 4 seasons?
3
Four.
seasons
This is-
of Avatar, 4
Yeah.
seasons of Korra.
Yeah, so I'm like this is already a thing going on here. What are you doing with all this? I don't know. When they announced the Dragon Ball Evolution, as soon as I saw, I was like, no, this is absolute shit. It's not gonna be good. But I had some hopes for that Avatar movie. I really did. I don't know. I was young.
I can at least go back.
It
I can at least go back and watch Dragon Ball Evolution drunkenly and laugh at it.
I
is
cannot
good
do
for
that.
You're
I
right.
cannot do that for the other. Oh man, that's terrible.
Dude, they just put out cutout characters in that movie, like they didn't even matter.
Remember when they had the teaser for a second movie at the end with Piccolo?
Oh man, I laughed so hard. I know exactly what this is. The funniest part is that teaser at the end. I'm like, do you guys have the gall to tease a second movie?
Did they think this was going to succeed?
Dude, I don't know. Goku in high school just doesn't work.
But
I mean,
would
that's
give
not even the
actor
worst
props.
part.
The actor tried really
Yeah.
hard, especially in the second part of the movie. He tried really hard. It's just that Goku in a modern high school, that shit ain't gonna work. That movie
Yeah.
was just
the
ass at worst.
the movie was just set up to failure from the get go. It's just whatever from the original idea up until then. I was like, no, it's not gonna work out.
I got an idea. Let's just leave anime with anime and stop making live action. And that
don't
goes
know.
along with Lion King,
There
Beauty and the Beast.
are
They
things
do it
that
right.
I feel like there are things that could, in theory, work as live action. For example, a good one, I don't know if you guys knew this, there is a movie, there is a live action from a manga, not from a anime. I'm trying to remember, it was with Tom Cruise on it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Spencer, you know what I'm talking about?
Are you sure you're not literally just talking about the movie I just talked about when we mentioned Returnal of Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow?
Age of Tomorrow, yes.
I like you remember the remarketed worse name. It was
Yeah.
originally Live, Die, Repeat,
Mhm.
which I think is actually a good name when you like watch the movie. But I love that you remember the vanilla Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, and the funny
That's
thing
from a
is,
manga?
it's from a manga, and the funny thing is,
Really?
it never clicked to me that it was the same thing. Like it was based
If
on
you
the
love- If
manga.
you love that, the manga is called. I think it's called like No Time. Like it's not No Time to Die. It's like All You Need Is Kill.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
sounds way cooler.
It's super cool, and the idea of it is
This was
it's
badass.
almost like it's the funny thing is that
Well, the movie is still good too.
Yeah.
Don't just because it's a Tom Cruise movie. Like Live, Die, Repeat is a legit like amazing manga
Yeah.
adaptation of a movie.
No, I'm sure
yeah,
it's good. It's the name
that's
that
why I'm bringing it up, because in theory that could have easily failed, but somehow on its own right it did great. Like it wasn't super good. Not get me wrong, it wasn't the second coming of Christ or anything, but on its own right it was good. Like the movie was good, the manga is good, the idea and the things that they took from the manga are good. That itself is good.
It's kind of like video
How
game
do
movie.
y'all think the One Punch Man live action movie is going to be?
Not as good as the game.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh god!
There you go. All you need is kill.
I think I've seen that. Something. Oh, it's by the same guy who did Death Note, right? Isn't that Obita?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's done
Yeah.
The Japanese Death Note movies were good.
Yeah.
Like live action.
No,
movies
the
were pretty
first
good.
one was good. L Saves the World was one of the worst live action movies.
Yeah, some of them are bad. Some of them are
Don't compare it to Dragon Ball Evolution though. That's
No, it's really bad. Have you seen that one? L Saves the World?
I've not no.
Do not. the
It can't, dude, but it can't be as bad as
I
the
promise
Netflix
you.
adaptation of Death
I
Note.
promise you, this thing just
Oh my
goes in a
God, Netflix.
weird ass tangent. It doesn't make any sense. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I want to know what Netflix is thinking when they're saying that they're making a sequel to the Death Note movie.
Well,
they're saying
what they're saying is
Willem
that people
Dafoe-
are gonna watch it.
No.
Yeah,
They're
audacity.
saying Willem Dafoe is the best Ryuk in history. Willem Dafoe
is.
killed it. That was a perfect.
He did a great job. He did a great job. That was literally perfect casting, but that was the only thing good about it.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of things that are good, I gotta finish this video tonight, guys.
I was gonna say thank you so much for coming in. I'm like, I literally messaged these guys and I was like, hey, I'm trying to make a podcast that is 1 hour to 2 hours long, no more than that, and we're over here almost hitting 3 hours at this point. But thank you.
I don't wanna point fingers, but I'm just saying it probably didn't help that someone went on a tangent talking about China, talking about game prices, talking about Digimon. I'm just saying.
Hey, Digimon was this guy over here. I did not talk about Digimon.
Oh, sorry. You said all anime is bad. I think that was at Curl 2021.
Anime is bad. When did I say that?
I think it's like it goes you and Miyazaki, the animation guy, not the From Software director. It goes of you guys saying anime was a mistake.
Oh man! All right. Well, thank you so much. Do you guys have any final thoughts on actual 2021 games?
Not SMT5. That ain't happening.
Yeah, I honestly, final thoughts on that. I don't really think that it's gonna happen this year. I don't know, like if it is, it's really late in the year. The fact that we haven't seen any gameplay in almost 4 years kind of worries me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's been 4 years and it's been ready.
I don't care if there's a concert in March. That doesn't mean that the game's going to be released.
Okay, yeah,
As long as they want, I just hope it's good. Like, just make it as good as it needs to be.
Yeah, definitely. Especially after going through Cyberpunk 2077. I'm like, dude, take your time. You want to delay it a year or two? I don't care. That's fine. But
guys, I'm getting a little nervous. I'm starting to think Ni no Kuni 3 might not happen.
Was it on development? I haven't heard anything about it.
No. I was just sitting there thinking, what's an RPG that's 100% never happening? People would kind of want, but we've all accepted is never going to happen. Like, you want to know what's funny? Ni no Kuni, a super beloved JRPG, the reason Ni no Kuni 3 will never happen, because literally the entire world forgot Ni no Kuni 2 happened.
No, I didn't forget about it. Well, most people, I guess, did. It's a good game. They're good games.
Studio Ghibli's also kind of went under recently.
Yeah, well, they've been trying to work on this new movie that they also had been delaying for like the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, he's having a hard time with.
Yeah, they're having this is supposedly after he retired. Like he retired and he came back and was like, okay, one more movie, and then it's just been delayed to hell. So I mean, I'm not even surprised about the No Kuni 3 if it's not even a thing.
Which sucks. I love Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, they do great stuff. I visited the house when I was in Japan. It was pretty cool.
Oh, I'm jealous, man.
Yeah, it's cool stuff there. Anyway, so thank you so much for coming in, guys. I appreciate you guys all showing up here. Shout out to Golden because he's talking about the Demon Slayer animated movie that is coming out soon in the West.
Yes, early 2021.
Where is our Demon Slayer video game for Kuro to deny? That's what I need to know.
No, I don't need. I'm not going to deny that. I will eat that up. I will eat that up. Even if it's Warriors.
Demon Slayer Muso.
You guys have been recording here. If a Demon Slayer Warriors game happens, I will buy it. I will stream it. You guys have it here.
I'm counting you on that, bro.
All right, you can hold me accountable to that. I love Demon Slayer. It's awesome. I even did a review for the anime when it came out here on the channel. Anyway, any final thoughts besides SMT5 not happening? All right,
everyone be excited about 2021 because we're recording this very early in the year. This was definitely a look at first quarter. There are so many games that have yet to get a release date and even yet to get announced. So this year is going to be really big. Yeah. 2020 was really big. 2021 has a lot of potential of being really, really crazy. We haven't even talked about the fact that it is very possible Breath of the Wild 2 comes out this year. Just let that sink in.
Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about that.
Final Fantasy VII spinoffs as well.
Oh yeah.
All the licensing
all this stuff that they talked about. Yeah, you're totally right too.
And
man, this is so much stuff
for Atlas, I think.
Maybe Bethesda will show up, surprise us. I don't know.
Yeah, well now, there's this Indiana Jones Bethesda game.
That's true.
Fallout 2077.
Working edition.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you guys. Or Spencer, Rising, King. It's awesome to have you guys here and chat about games and maybe scream a little bit. And
Fun.
thank you so much for everybody that's talking for the podcast. It's awesome. And yeah,